If you're in the mood, I got my new suit of clothes on and everything. We're live? Okay. You guys are ready?
Yep.
Troy, you ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
We're going. I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Can we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Before we do anything else, we're going to stand up and pledge the flag.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Okay, before we even do a roll call here, everybody is looking so attentive and bright right at the moment. While I got your attention, there's 15 items on the agenda this evening. We're going to try to get through them. We're going to get through them all. It may take a while. If you're going to speak in favor or opposed to something, get to the point. If you are opposed, you say, I stand in opposition because. I stand in favor because. Very short, very brief, please. Long-winded doesn't make right. We hear, I oppose, or I agree. That's what we're listening for. How long you've lived in Wareham and how old you are, it's not a matter pertinent to what we're looking at. Thank you. That said, we've called the meeting to order. Roll call. To my right, Troy Larson. To my left, Chris Conti, Richard Semple. In the vacant chair, our chairman is normally sitting here. He's unable to be present due to logistics of where he is this evening, but he is online and part of this meeting. He's on Zoom. You can see him on the screen there. If somebody's having a hard time seeing the screen at any point during the evening, there's two switches on the back wall. If you turn the one that does that row off, it makes that screen more legible. Somebody feels the need to do that, just silently get up and do it. We won't all be shocked. It's more intimate anyway. We can love each other better. Better than candlelight. Okay, that said, we've called the roll call. There's no members missing. Also, Jake, Josh is our town planner. I'm reading notes and talking at the same time, can you tell? Josh Flaherty is our town planner. He's here. I think we've got a town engineer in the audience somewhere. Phil, oh.
Don't recognize him, dude.
No, I didn't recognize you with the clothes on, you know? I was going to get one of those today too, but Okay. Any other preliminary business? First thing on the agenda this evening is the minutes from 12/10/2025. When I introduced everybody, I didn't say my own name. I'm me, Jim Akabachi. Thank you. I'm the clerk, and I'll be chairing. I'll do my own reading as clerk, and I'll chair simultaneously, only so that other members have the chance to review documents while I'm reading. It gives you one more person and one more set of eyes on your application. Minutes from 12/10/25. I believe they've been reviewed, edited, and are correct as they stand. All I need is somebody to scream. I make a motion to approve as presented and somebody to second it, and we can go on from there.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Chris, seconded by Troy. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
It passes. And everybody can excuse my first name business, but we know each other, and the formality of last names doesn't, to me, change the validity of the vote. Approved. Done. Next, second thing on the agenda here, maybe Josh, you know what this is? I don't. Discussion and possible vote to recommend appointment of Connor Alden as an associate ZBA member to the Select Board.
Yep, so this is standard practice. Mr. Alden wants to become a member of the board again, so you would give a recommendation to the select board to appoint him. Normally, you would look for him to attend a few meetings before, but given the nature
Right.
that he was on the board, it feels appropriate to just move forward with this step.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that at all. My question would be, the reason he left us was because he moved out of town. Has he moved back into town?
He loves Wareham so much, he came back.
I just want that in the record,
Understood? Yes.
because it was on the record that he lived out of town, and now he lives back in Wareham. So he's reapplied to be an associate member. We need an associate member. We still have 2 seats for 2 more, even if we accept, and if the select board appoints him. So, any discussion amongst the board?
Glad to have
Anybody
him
here
back.
that doesn't feel as though it would be a good move to get Alden back on as an associate?
Be glad to have him back.
Nazi, just wave if you're for it. Yeah. He's got a thumb. That's good. Thank you, Naz. So be it. Do you want to, can I just say it into the record and?
No, you should take a vote, and it should be roll call. Just
Okay,
because
all in
Nazi's
favor,
on Zoom.
it's been recommended, all in favor, say aye. Troy? Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazi, I left you out of the last vote.
That's okay, aye.
Aye, okay. It's 5-0-0. Can we get somebody to do we need to put something in writing and
All set.
you take care of it? Doesn't need to be signed by the board or anything? Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna skip down out of preliminary business briefly, and I'm gonna go into public hearings. I'm gonna read 4525 in. The reason I'm doing this is because the applicant is going to request a continuance, so anybody that's here for that reason ought to make somebody sit here for whatever amount of time, just to say, can I continue? Maybe we can get a few bodies out of the room, who knows? 4525. It is. Right there.
So we skipped over this one.
And we got another one that's going to be moved too, but that's the next in order, so I'm just taking this out of order. This is 4525, and I'm going to read it into the record so we can act on it. And it is the Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in Room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571. To consider petition number 45-25 for a special permit and a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 628, and Article 13, Sections 1320, 1350, 1351, and 1352, and 1353, under the Wareham zoning bylaws to 17 Atlantic Avenue, LLC, care of Zachary L. Basinski, P.E., of Bracken Engineering, Inc., of 49 Herring Prawn Road, Buzzards Bay, Mass., proposing to raise the existing dwelling damaged by fire and construct a new dwelling within the existing footprint located at 17 Atlantic Avenue, Wareham, Mass., Assessors Map 19, Lot 58, 59, 78, in the R60 zoning district. Before I ask the applicant to speak, you can come forward or be on the already for it. And I'm told that the reason that you're asking for a continuance is that you're still not through Conservation Commission?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to request a continuance?
I would.
Does anybody here have an objection to?
You're not.
Do I have a motion to continue
To win.
petition 4525 to?
I'm supposed to be in front of them next week, so after plan revisions on that, we have to resubmit back to staff. So how long would staff to?
Our next meeting is the 28th?
28.
Yeah.
28th?
That would be a week, because if I have to make, if they approve it on the 21st, Would that be okay to see?
Do you want to be here, and then if you have to ask for another extension, you can?
Yeah, why don't
Are
we
you
plan on-
anxious to get started?
Yeah, we are.
Then take the next meeting, and if you have to, we'll give you another extension.
Okay, perfect, the 28th.
Is that okay with the other members of the board? Nazi?
Yeah,
Thanks for
just
you.
need the name of the applicant for the record, please.
I didn't give it in here, I'm sorry.
For the record, Zach Basinski, professional engineer, Bracken Engineering.
All right, very well. If you may, Mr. Chair, inform everyone that they won't be
I gotcha.
notified by mail for the next hearing.
Anybody that's here on this matter, did you understand what he just said? There'll be, if you're here because of a public notice or a letter that came in the mail, you won't get another letter, nobody's gonna call you up, nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, hey, by the way, either you hear it now and you're here for the next meeting, or, you know, we're all grown-ups. So this is being continued to 1/28/26. All in favor, Troy?
Aye. Do we need to make a motion on that?
Did we make, I thought we motioned, no, did we motion it, or?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
It's been made, it's been motioned and seconded, all in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye. Chris?
Chris?
Aye.
Aye. Nazzy?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Thank you
You're
very
all
much.
set, you're continued.
See you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
If you want, you can still sit here all night and watch everybody else,
I
but
think my wife would like to see me at home.
I thought I did you, I hope I did you a solid. Okay.
He hasn't been married long enough.
Okay. 1425. 44. Okay. Going back in order. Let me get that note out of the way. Okay, 4125 was, okay, that's way down here. We got plenty of time. Next thing in line is Wareham Cranberry Highway LLC Tropical Smoothie, 3020 Cranberry Highway. I believe this has also been moved to the 28th. Was
Yeah, yeah.
Was it done internal in the office already?
Yeah, she would like to be moved to the 28th.
She'd
It
like to be, so we should vote on it, and
doesn't require a vote. It's preliminary business, but
it's preliminary business?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then let's just move it to the 28th. 1/28, 26. That one's out of the way. 4 down, 11 to go. Number 4, 3524, N-Star Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, 37 Doughty Street. Discussion and possible vote on completion, final sign-off. Anybody here from Eversource? Come on up, come on down. Let's make a deal. I don't have any pretty girls to give you prizes or anything, but we can still, you know. This is still preliminary business, and this is an ongoing application. I think you guys, go ahead. What are you guys looking for?
Sure. My name's Brian Potvin with Civil and Environmental Consultants, civil engineer representing Eversource. And we've completed the construction of the project. Third-party review engineer has reviewed and provided a letter to the board saying that he's satisfied with the completion of the project and looking for the ZBA sign-off on the construction.
I'm holding the letter from the peer review, and I'm reading the important line that I just highlighted. A&M recommends that the project can be released for a certificate of occupancy on the project at the board's discretion. Any questions from any board members?
So yes, I got a couple questions. There's a couple things that were marked by Allen and Majors. The curb along the westerly side of the building within the parking field was noted for removal, and it wasn't removed. Is that going to stay there?
Yep, so part of the approval from this board allowed us to remove the internal parking lot landscape islands in the front parking area. We had requested at the beginning to remove also the internal parking lot landscaped islands. There are 2 of them on either side of the building. And then due to operations of the facility and due to cost concerns, Eversource decided to preserve those existing landscaped islands, the two, one on either side,
Okay.
and decided to keep them.
And there was also some parking striping that wasn't done? Are you going to eventually do the striping, or?
Striping was done, but it was slightly different than what was shown on the approved plan to accommodate the operations of a particular storage area outside of the parking lot. So the limit of disturbance was the same as proposed, but the striping is somewhat different.
Okay, yep, I'm good, thanks.
Those were all mentioned in Alan Major's letter, but you're good. And let the record show that Ms. Raposo has just joined us. Ms. Okay, so we are asked to give them their money back on their bond. That's what you want, right?
Nope,
Am I wrong? No?
just final sign off.
Just the final sign-off?
Yep.
They're not asking for your bond release yet? Just the final sign-off?
Yeah, I'm sure that's not far behind.
Okay. Nope, I'm just going by,
Ah.
right now, we're just doing the CO. I have a motion, do I have a motion to grant a CO?
So moved.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Excuse
go
me.
ahead.
Yes, first, let's move to modify, to grant a minor modification before we grant if the board wishes.
The minor modification being those two islands that were not...
Items and the line striping that Chris noted, we should grant a minor modification before we grant, if the board wishes to grant.
Do you guys agree? Yeah? Okay. You want to make that as a motion, Mr.
Yeah,
Elcott?
motion to, yes, Chris can make the motion because that was his comments. He could motion to grant the minor modification.
Okay, the minor modification would be for items 1, 2, and 3 in the letter from Alan Majors. The curbed island along the westerly side of the building within the parking field was not removed. On the approval site plans was not removed. Number 2, same thing on the other side of the building. Number 3, the striping, which has been explained and accepted by this board, but we're going to move for a minor modification that we agreed to those minor.
So sure, I'll make a motion that we accept the minor modifications as listed in Allen and Majors,
Do we have a second on
1,
that?
2, and 3.
I second.
Moved by Chris, seconded by Richard, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris? Aye.
Naz?
Aye.
Okay, it's been minor modified. Okay, now we need a motion to grant the certificate of occupancy.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Semple. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Troy. All in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Chris, aye.
Naz?
Aye.
Aye, okay. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good
Give
night.
you a CO. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good night. 500, grant. Grant. 500. Do you have an agenda? You're all set on taking any notes you might need? Okay. Done. Next up on the hit list, Taunton Federal Credit Union, 2512 Cranberry Highway, discussion and possible vote on completion, final sign-off. Same thing, CO. Are they looking for a CO or? Temporary CO. State your name and what you want.
Nelson Tavares with Taunton Federal Credit Union. We are looking for a temporary CO, considering substantial completion of the property. We do have third-party review in hand, and there were 3 items noted. First, being that the fencing around our dumpster enclosure has not been installed. The fencing company is actually on site. They started today. We had a delay in material,
We went by, I saw it, yeah.
And the fencing install has commenced, and the dumpster will be part of that project as well, so it should be completed by the 6th. There were 2 ornamental trees on the landscaping plan that were not installed in the desired location. They were moved due to interference with overhead wires from one of our abutters that crosses our property. So in an effort to not interfere with those, they were moved.
Okay.
And then additionally,
So were they removed or moved,
Yes, sir.
relocated?
they were installed in an adjacent location.
So they were relocated, not?
Correct.
Okay. Do I have a letter from Alan Majors here, or an opinion, or save me the time of reading? Is it an okay, or is it a,
So it is okay in terms of substantial compliance, Mr. Chairman, but I think what Nelson was about to refer to is we have one ongoing issue relative to the fire department and a discrepancy on the entrances because of a MassDOT concern. So I think, Nelson, if you want to explain it to the board, I can
so the
elaborate.
DOT and the fire department are in an arm wrestling contest over your entrance?
And we're standing in the middle.
And yes, yeah.
So the initial plan to the board was to have 20-foot entrances to Cranberry Highway.
Yeah,
Mass DOT's requirement for our type of property, for a commercial property, is 16-foot maximum.
16?
16-foot entrance maximum. And considering the turn-in radius of Tower 1, the fire department's ladder truck, they were unable to make the swing coming in from the right-hand lane into the property. So we are currently working with MassDOT to amend our plan and get relief from them in accordance with the best wishes of the fire department for public safety.
So they're not really arm wrestling, they're holding each other's hand and they're trying to get to the point where they can shake.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's good news. So you need a temporary CO until that's resolved.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
How come you didn't build it per plan, 20-foot entry?
They did.
We attempted to build it to plan. MassDOT denied that application, and per the state highway regulation for that type of property, the maximum allowed width of an entrance, one-way entrance and egress for a property is 16 feet, and they wouldn't deviate from that. We attempted to at the time. We are now filing for an amendment and have already filed for an amendment with a denial letter from the fire department. Our fire prevention captain provided that for us.
So then at that point, you'll have to take your 16-foot opening and make it 20?
We're looking for approval from DOT for that. We're going to maximize.
Right now, it's 16 and
That is correct.
the fire department wants you to get the extra 4 feet
Yes, sir.
on both.
On the entrance.
I see you, Naz.
They have allowed us to allow the entrance to be expanded so the tower truck can get within 50 feet of an entrance of the building. So that way they can be within fire code. And then from there, post-emergency, they can back out of the same spot.
Okay. I think Mr. Alcalazzi wants to speak on this matter.
Yeah, my question to the gentleman, why this issue hasn't come up during construction? I drive by this every day and it's looked narrow and I should have stopped by. I meant to stop by. Why it didn't come up or was asked from the board to deviate from the plan? And I would like to see a letter from the state. I mean, the state, I've done projects on the highway. They need bigger radiuses, bigger entrance. I don't know, when did they start doing these small entrances? Do you have a letter on records that we could look at from the state? And why we were approached prior for minor modification? That's a major thing to deviate from the plan. I think you should have came before us and explained the situation before you built it.
Go ahead, to respond.
Yeah, I don't have a letter from DOT. I could get a copy of their response from the time. We do have correspondence with them from that period of time.
All right, Phil, do you support that letter, that theory that the gentleman's saying?
So, You know, he's unfortunately trapped in a position that DOT held them to sort of a blanket standard buried in a design guideline manual that DOT relies upon. They didn't look at the site circumstances. They didn't look at fire turning. They pretty much backed him into court and said, we want a 16-foot entrance. He did share with us the comment response letters that were provided from the state to their design team that said, we will only accept 16 feet, please provide that. I think, you know, not to throw the applicant under the bus, maybe when that happened, you know, in hindsight, he could have come in front of the board and said, we're trapped between DOT and the board's decision. But unfortunately, what happens in these projects is the right-of-way is DOT-based jurisdiction, and we would have had an authority battle between the zoning board and the state. So to short answer to your question, I unfortunately have to agree with how he reported it because of how DOT responded to their application. We met on site the week before last. The Wareham Fire Department came out with Tower 1. We attempted to make it work. It just didn't work. So now in tow, he's going back to DOT with a letter from the Wareham Fire Department, the support to widen that entrance, comments from the state fire marshal's office that that entrance needs to be widened, the opinion from the planning director, our opinion, to really force DOT to backtrack on their permit and amend that entrance. Unfortunately, that maybe should have happened earlier in the process, but we are where we are.
Naz?
All right, is that a first in the state of Massachusetts? Is this a first thing, or does this DPW recognize fire trucks? Or, I mean,
No.
it's weird.
So
Is this a first incident thing happens?
So the uniqueness here is they elected to do two one-way entrances, whereas most people will do a two-way commercial entrance 24 feet in width. Because these are two one-way, they got caught in the clause of the design manual at DOT. That was the issue.
All right, let's be the devil's advocate. Let's see that DOT will not allow it, and then how the fire truck will get in.
Well, so that's the hindsight issue is we have to make sure the applications, when they're submitted to DOT, are accompanied by the absolute requirements that the fire apparatus and the NFPA code have to be met and really force their hand on not only this entrance, but any other applications going forward.
Okay, just my question to the board, how any suggestion how we're gonna address this matter? I mean, this is a serious matter. Phil, another question. The modification, let's say they say, no way, we're not gonna allow it, the state. What's the modification with the curb? Remove the curb and put the corrugated concrete thing?
That's it exactly. They would have to remove the curb and put in place some form of a mountable surface, whether it's gravel, grass paved, the ribbed concrete, any other possible opportunities, but that is the solution.
All right, I'll go back to the board, see what they think.
Anybody
Jim?
have comments? I have mine, but go ahead.
I'm just as concerned if the fire department can't get in there, we go ahead and give an temporary occupancy. I know today's building codes pretty much prevent a lot of fire, but would we be taking the responsibility on if we overruled the fire department?
Mr. Chair, can I speak to that matter?
So I'm just a little concerned on us putting the okay on something that the fire department's not happy with, so.
Yep, and I can actually speak
Mr.
to
Faraday,
that.
go ahead.
So the fire department today issued a letter, and I had sent it to you guys earlier today. I know there's some issue with the cell phones, so, but what the fire department's letter states is they are comfortable with you issuing a temporary CO as long as the applicant continues to make progress to revising the opening. And that was sent by the fire captain this afternoon.
So the fire department's okay with letting them open the bank,
As long as they're making progress towards revising
as long as
the
they're out there in
opening.
the driveway and where people are gonna get in and out, blocking it with trucks and equipment so that they can't get in.
Yeah, the fire department is okay As long
Okay.
as they continue to make
I'm
progress.
okay with it. I'm okay with it too. So, and the bank's okay with changing the entrance?
Yes, sir. I can also affirm that today we submitted our amendment application to DOT.
It's really not it's really not a big deal if an excavator sits up out of the way and scrapes it back and they form it and pour some. What's the solution going to be, ribbed?
The solution is to open up the opening of the curb to 20 feet, change the radius to a 25-foot radius, but then allow that corrugated ribbed concrete surface back to the 16 feet in an attempt to get DOT to be okay with the plan.
So you're going to give them their 20 feet to let the fire apparatus in, but 4 feet of it is going to be white concrete and 16 feet of it's going to be black asphalt.
That's correct. And that's twofold to hopefully prevent two cars from stacking in and out.
Because you
from
want
the
to
entrance.
discourage people from,
And we also want to discourage people from speeding into the parking lot from a public safety standpoint.
so you want to encourage one way in and one way out.
That is correct.
Any other questions? Anybody in the audience here have any questions or comments on this? Anybody online? Yep, go ahead, Naz. It looks like you're...
Yes, I'd like a date, a set date when they're gonna come back for review. We need a plan before they go ahead for work. I'd like to see them back, what they're planning with, or what they agree with the DPW. And we need to set a date. We can't just leave it open without a date. I mean, how long the gentleman is, how long does it take him to do it? 3 months, 4 months to come back before us with the approved plan? But before construction, please, we need to go over it.
I think the unknown part here is that DOT took 8 months from our application point, and our permit was issued very, very recently, right when the work was completed. It was a long process. We're attempting to expedite it. We've had consult with numerous people there looking to expedite it. If we could get an answer very quickly, we could do the work as soon as.
The state wants you to leave it at 16?
The Mass DOT's mandate was 16
Yeah,
feet.
correct. Mass DOT, the state, yeah.
Correct.
They want you to leave it at 16, and the fire department wants it out to 20. So you need the state's permission to excavate that 4 feet.
That's correct. And at this point now, we have fire recommendation, so we have a denial in its current state from
You just
the fire
can't give
prevention
us a
captain.
straight answer as to when they're going to let you.
I couldn't tell
Grab
you,
that.
I couldn't tell you when the state is going to review our case and get us an answer.
Mr. Alcalazzi, how do you feel about giving them 60 days to come back and report?
No, it's not gonna happen with the state. Let's shoot for June 10th. June 10th, the applicant must come back before us with the answer or a plan. And if they didn't hear from the state, we need documents from the state that they received the application very soon from the applicant, and they're working on it. And I really, like Richard said, don't like to say yes, but if the fire department's okay with it, it's their tires, I guess.
Mr.
So-
Chairman, we actually uploaded to the portal today our revised plan and application status.
Okay.
All right, well, usually we need them a week prior, sir, to review, not the
Understood.
same day, but we're gonna let it slide today. So I would say June 10 is or before. If you get the approval before, please come forward and see Sonia and get any agenda. But by June 10, whether you get it or not, you must come back before us and explain what's going on.
Understood.
Is that fair?
Works for me. Anybody else got a problem with that or are good with it?
I'm
Good with
good
it?
with it. Other than that, I think it's looking good.
Okay. So, that said, it looks like we're leaning towards granting a temporary TO to be revisited on June 10th with regards to the entrance. Is that about right?
Also, Mr. Chair, also the dumpster, you work on a gate as we speak?
Yeah, that's being done. That was already under construction today.
All right, and does the board feel to grant a minor modification for relocating the trees, or you don't think it's necessary?
I'm okay with granting a minor modification so that it's on the record that and then we'll just approve the as-built when it's finally done.
Okay.
That work? So you want a
Fair
minor
enough.
modification for the relocation of the trees and the dumpster isn't a modification, that's just
No.
complete, so
Right.
it's just the relocation of the trees.
Yes.
So we need a motion to grant a minor modification for the relocation of 2 ornamental trees.
So moved.
Moved by Troy,
Second.
seconded by Richard. All in favor, Nazzy?
Yes.
Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
It passes, the minor modification passes 500. Now we're going to talk about the temporary CO. I need a motion to grant a temporary CO through a minimum of June 10th, unless on or before June 10th, to return and report on the status of the entrances.
Mr. Chair, let's grant the CO till June 11. So when they come June 10, if they didn't get anything from state, we could, because if it expires on the 10th.
I got you.
So let's do June 11 for the CO, temporary CO.
And you're looking at a calendar, June 10th is a meeting date? Okay.
It's one of our meeting dates, yes.
Okay, so I'm good with June 11th. All I need is somebody to say so moved.
So moved.
By Richard, seconded by,
Chris?
seconded by Troy. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Mazzy?
Aye.
You got your temporary CO.
Thank you.
We'll see you June 10th or before, or
Hopefully
June
before.
11th or before, but we'll see you June 10th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you for your input from across the pond.
That's amazing.
Plus, you can have 2 cars going out.
Good evening.
What happens if one car-
Next one up, 1325 Fredwood, Madeline Strasser. Get yourselves comfortable. I gotta see what we got here with you guys. You already read in too, right?
Yeah, it's preliminary business, Chairman.
Here we go.
Maybe I just moved them. Okay, I did. That's all right, you're good. I see you now. I tricked myself by moving stuff.
So awkward, how are you?
Okay, done.
Thank you.
And what do we got here?
Yeah,
More information,
yeah, I updated the letter
new
already.
data. Is this like the first time anybody's seeing this stuff?
It is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is 20 Longwood Avenue, minor modification request. And do you guys remember 20 Longwood Avenue at all? Want to give us a refresher of who you are and why you're here?
Sure. My name is Bill Lockwood, architect with Lockwood Architects. With me is Fred Strasser, and is the contractor, who is also in the room. In the spring, Mr. Strasser had gotten a special permit from this board to construct a manufactured home on the site and demo the existing house. Since
And we approved that.
and you approve that. And with a number of items of relief.
Okay.
Since then, they've had a change of heart and retained me to design a new house, which we did, and have submitted for a building permit, and we're told that we would need to get, because it was different, and we'd need to get dispensation.
You're
from-
not building what we approved, you're not building what we granted, is that?
Correct. And we believe that it's minor issues because everything that we're doing differently is less than or equal to what the board has already granted as dispensation. So for the most part, we are in compliance with zoning as it exists without relief. And the only thing that I believe we're two things. One is building coverage and the other is FAR.
Okay. So we previously approved building coverage for more coverage than you now need?
Correct.
And we previously approved FAR for
The same
more
amount
than
that
you
we're now,
currently
the same
need.
amount that we're now
So
asking for.
your modifications are less intensive than what was granted,
Correct.
but you're not building a modular home, you're stick building from
Stick
the
buil-
ground up
Stick
on-site.
building a two-story home as opposed to a one-story modular.
Okay.
And as opposed to a 1 3/4 story existing structure, which is going to be demolished.
So does it look the same?
Well, on the,
I got the plan here.
the third sheet, or the last sheet of that little handout that I just gave you, gives you a
Last sheet
comparison.
of little handout you gave us, okay. Nazzy, you don't have the little handout, do you?
No, I'm listening.
Online?
though.
Is it online, or is this the first time?
This is the first time.
Okay, so let me just stop right here, and we're gonna continue to talk, but the board made a decision sometime back. You may be aware of it, you may not, but we've decided as a board that anything that's given in like this at the night of the meeting,
Yep.
we want 2 weeks just to absorb this. So if we need an extension, fine, but you're not gonna get a vote on yes, yea or nay tonight. He's across the ocean somewhere. He doesn't have the benefit of this.
Right.
Our town engineer hasn't had a lot of people haven't had the time to,
Understood.
so, just so you know, you're adding a minimum of 2 weeks. You're gonna have to come back at our next meeting at minimum.
Okay.
Just for everybody, now you can go forward and play your violin. I mean,
Okay.
tell me your story.
Well, as, before that digression, I was explaining that the last sheet of the new information gives you a comparative look at the three different versions of the house. The existing, what you approved, and what we're currently proposing.
I see it.
I actually think the third the way they're going now fits onset better than the other
And
building did
You're
myself.
giving us a smaller footprint. You're going taller, but you're still within the,
well below.
well below, yeah, you're allowed 35 and you're at 26 and 4 inches.
Correct.
So, Mr. Chair, do we need to determine whether this is minor or a major modification? I think it's a major modification. They went from a single story to a two-story. I think it's a major modification what their changes are.
And in my eyes, I do see that they decreased the lot, I mean, seriously, amount of the building. That would be my favor of a minor, because they definitely came down on their FAR, so that would just be my thought.
No, I get Mr. Conti's comment, I get your comment. Naz, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, they came down on the building coverage, but Mr. Lockwood, is the FAR still the same or you above?
The FAR is the same as what you granted relief in the spring, so 35%.
Okay. If that's the case, I kinda agree with Richard, and there's no need for me to review. I have a trust in the board. So if the board feels it's okay, I don't have problem. You don't have to extend it. You don't have to continue until next time.
Okay. Okay, what about the fact that it's a completely different structure? It's going from 1-story to 2-story, like Mr. Conti brought up. Do you have a problem with that?
It's still within the heights restriction. I understand where Chris is coming from with the height. He's concerned about neighbors, maybe for view or something. But unless it's deeded rights from the neighbors, I don't think it's a problem. They're still within the heights. And I like the less coverage, as Richard, the less building coverage, as Richard mentioned.
I agree. I like But I see Mr. Conti's point as well, because some neighbor might feel aggrieved that now it's tall, and
Well,
they may not have a deeded view easement, but they may feel that they were denied the right to come in here and bitch and complain.
if I might, we're actually going from the 1 3/4 stories, which it currently is, at 23 and a half feet to 26 and a half feet. So it's going up 3 feet taller.
That's
The one-story situation is mythical. It does not exist. It's only been approved.
Yeah, but people came to what I'm trying to say is people came to the open
Understood,
meeting
understood.
under a certified letter, and they didn't complain because they were getting less height. Now they're getting more, so Mr. Conti makes a valid point. We're not going to make a decision tonight. We're going to give ourselves the 2 weeks anyway.
Okay.
I
If
feel.
if I may,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, if I may, if you're gonna, I think you should make a decision if it's a minor or major, like Chris mentioned. So this
Okay.
gentleman can go to work, and coming back in 2 weeks and tell him go to major, he's losing 2 weeks. If you guys want to vote for, if the board majority wants to go for a major, let the gentleman go to work and file for a major modification.
And that would require re-advertising, et cetera, wouldn't it?
It will-
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. And that would be giving the neighbors 100% the benefit of any doubts. If we call it a minor, we just say, yeah, go ahead, go forward with your plans. Everybody understands that?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Conti, you had the controversial, or whatever, thought. How would you like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we should consider this as a major modification.
Do I have a second on that? If it doesn't get seconded, then we need,
I will
I'll
second it.
okay, now it's been moved and seconded. Let's vote on it.
I just want to clarify.
Yep.
I did have a problem, I didn't have a problem with it, but the point about the neighbors, in the certified mail, that's the only reason why I'm changing my
I
stand
get,
on it.
yeah, that's,
Because I just don't want, he's
I
got a
think what-
he's got
yeah.
a valid point.
I think like Naz, I'd like to be able to just say, build it.
So I just want.
But I don't want to have some neighbor
stand.
coming in a month saying, you know what, you denied me full opportunity to come in and state my position. And we should, so that's why I felt as though the major had some merit. But we've got a first and we've got a motion and we've got a second. We need to vote on it. Troy, what do you, what we're voting on is that this become a major modification.
Okay, aye.
Aye?
Yep.
Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazi?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Yeah, it's a major.
Okay,
You're gonna have to re-advertise.
okay, so we'll come back.
So you wanna...
We'll come back and see you.
You're 30 days out because of the mailing and all the baloney, but, I as much as I'd like to see you go ahead and build it, I think we're doing it right.
Well, everybody wants to do things right.
Yeah. I prefer to see things done right instead of, yeah, well, we can do it the easy way or the hard way, but either way, it's gonna happen.
Do we think it's going to be February 11th or the 25th?
I don't think we're gonna be back by February, do you?
Well, we're going to have to get,
Sonia, do you-
notify the
The
abutters.
way it's gonna
So
be.
you got to re-advertise anyway, so it
And
doesn't make any
advertise.
difference. Yeah.
So
Is
what
that-
do you
Is that a
think?
2-week advertisement or a 1-week advertisement?
We'll figure out the meeting.
Yeah,
date
but we
for you
need to
guys.
put it, in
you
case
go.
anybody's listening, huh?
No.
No.
That's right.
Because it's gonna
No,
be
no.
re-advertised.
Yeah.
We don't need to worry about getting
We'll
it.
determine the date in the office.
And then you guys can talk right with the office direct, and
Okay,
we'll get it advertised, and we'll reread it into the record, and
okay,
thank you for coming in.
okay. Thank you for
Did we
your
vote
attention.
on that? Did we, yeah, we voted, yeah. I'm not losing my mind, it's just of all the things I've lost, I do kind of miss my mind. Okay, that's done. Major. Mod. Okay. So we're done with that one. Okay. 4125. Is, Mr. Davignon out of the Board of Health meeting yet? You are? Okay, I didn't want to call you up if you were still tied up elsewhere. Okay, so the next thing up in front of us is going to be number 4125. Adrian and Paul Corderochi, 2010 Family Trust Special Permit and/or a variance, 9 Nimrod Way, 4125. Let's see what we got here. I got to read this in before I set you off. See if there's anything here for these guys to look at. Only a couple copies.
I have one.
You got one?
Yep.
You guys seen it already? You got your copies already? We're good, okay. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026, at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571. To consider petition number 41-25 for a special permit and a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 621 and 628, and Article 13, Sections 1355, 1356, 1357, and 1358, under the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Adriana and Paul D. Quattarachi Ochi. Am I saying it right? Close enough. They couldn't have a simple name like mine, could they? 2010 Family Trust, CO David M. Davignon, P.E., Schneider and Davignon and Leone, Inc., of 81A County Road, Mattapoisett, Mass. 02739. Proposing demolition of an existing dwelling and construction of a new elevated home on a FEMA zone foundation located at 9 Nimrod Way, Wareham, Mass. This appears on Wareham Assessors Map 46A2, Lot 149, in the R30 zoning district. So go ahead, sir. Tell us what you got.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. Good evening. Thank you for your consideration for me possibly being late. So my name is Dave DeVignan. I'm representing the owners of the property, 9 Nimrod Way. The property contains a cottage which was constructed circa 1950, according to the assessor's records. This is a project to tear down the house and rebuild a new one in compliance with FEMA, Mass Building Code, for construction within a flood zone. The property borders a street on two sides, Barnacle Road northerly, Nimrod Way easterly, the Wareham River southerly, and a developed residential lot to the west. So there's only one impacted abutter to the property. The existing house is non-conforming relative to its building setbacks to both streets and the only other abutting developed property. So it's non-conforming in 3 directions. The proposed house setbacks will improve all non-conforming setbacks. The side will be improved. I'm not sure if you'd call it a side or a rear because it's opposite one of the 2 streets. Currently, it's 1.8 feet off the lot line and be improved to 3 feet. To Barnacle Road, it's a slight improvement from 15.32 to 15.3 feet. And Nimrod Way, the proposed house will be improved from 8.1 to 8.4. There is a however, due to the change in the height of the first floor, there'd be a 10-foot differential from where it exists today. It requires us to install stairs. The house faces Nimrod Way, so we're adding the stairs in that direction where the front door is now, and that will place the staircase 0.9 feet off the sideline of the road. It's important to mention, though, that Nimrod Road is a dead-end street. There are no impacts for anybody directly across from where that location will be. The floor level is currently at elevation 10.43. It's located in an A zone, but it's an area that's subject to limited moderate wave action, or it's in a limb wall line. Therefore, it has to be designed in accordance to velocity zone standards, which hence requires a 10-foot vertical differential. They intend to use the lower level as a garage drive under. The grades work fine for that. The height of the house is proposed to be 29.5 feet, well under the 35 allowance. So the existing building coverage, including the house, shed, deck, and porches, is calculated to be 39.5 feet, 39.5% in the narrative. We are proposing to increase the building coverage to 42.6%, approximately a 3% increase. And the proposed floor area ratio is proposed to be increased above the 30%. We're proposing basically a two-story building over a portion of the house, which results in a 52.6% floor area ratio. So we are seeking both a special permit to tear down, rebuild, improving the existing nonconformities, and we need a relief from the zoning regulations for floor area ratio and building coverage. We do have a Conservation Commission approval. Order of conditions was submitted as part of your packet. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I'm a little, my first question would be the lot size. What's the size of the lot?
Oh, I'm sorry, the lot size, very small. The lot is 3,760 square feet.
Okay.
It was developed through a subdivision plan dated August 14th, 1920.
And there's a house, and there's a cottage on it right now?
There is.
And you want to tear it down and put something in there, and you've already mentioned all the difference. And you're going to be 11 inches from the street with the stairs when you're done?
That's correct.
Okay, and that would be Shore Nimrod Avenue Way. Oh, okay. And this is over in Pinehurst, right?
Yes, Nimrod comes off of Pinehurst Drive. If you look at the assessor's map or the old, the subdivision was essentially developed as a 4,000 square foot lot neighborhood, with some lots being slightly,
It's a little waterfront, it's a little
yeah,
waterfront lot.
yes.
And I didn't totally absorb all the setbacks and FAR and all that jazz. Be pretty hard not to need relief on a lot that size. Okay, to the board, any questions? Naz, were you able to follow along?
Yes. My question is this an existing, I'm sure you are increasing the FAR, building coverage, the height you're not, I understand. Is this an existing non-conforming with the FAR and building coverage?
It looks like it, I'll let him answer the question. So this is already,
The building coverage currently is 39.5%.
and you're gonna make,
We're jumping that to 42.6, a slight increase.
could you hear his reply?
Yes,
So
and
it's
the
not-
FAR.
Yes. The FAR, let's see if I have that number.
It's in the reply.
The FAR is increasing from 22.5% to 42.6, and the allowed is 30%.
Okay, so the FAR is in compliance, so that building coverage, because the existing non-conforming, he will, if the board feels it's not so detrimental, we could treat it as a special permit. Yet the FAR needs a variance because he's in conformance with the FAR. So if it was non-conforming, he extend the non-conformity, but because it's conforming, he's gonna require variance. I'm sure the building commissioner letter would say this. Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah,
I
we've
mean,
got,
if you guys can, somebody look at the commissioner's letter and see what he recommends.
I got it in front of me. Following must be obtained from the zoning board of appeals: a special permit to demolish and replace the structure, including the intensification in building coverage and front setback. A variance must be granted for the newly created new conformity floor area ratio. So he's saying a special permit for the demolition,
Yep.
okay, and intensification of building coverage and front setback, all can be done by special permit. But a variance is necessary for the FAR.
There you go. That's what I figured.
You did pretty good just listening without looking at it.
I guess I've done enough of them.
Hearing is one thing, listening is another skill. Okay. I'm just sorry, I'm reading and listening. I'm gonna open it up to the neighborhood right now, if anybody, unless you guys, any questions at this point? You want a little more time to look?
For the variance, what's the hardship?
Well, the floor area, the size of the lot is the hardship. At 3,760 square feet, held to the 30%. It's tough. The cottage now is really small, and it's the amount of money you need to pour into building something, and to build it so small doesn't make sense economically. So I would go with shape of lot being 3,700 and some odd square feet lot.
But you're allowed to build by right a certain size building on that type of lot.
But the floor area ratio, limited to 30% for such a small lot, is really a limiting fact. It's really small.
Yeah, on that line, this is waterfront. Is the land, is any of the land going into the water, or is the whole thing dry? Is the whole 30-something,
If you look at the site plan,
the assessors map?
yeah, the entire property is upland.
The entire property's upland.
The marsh is actually
it's up.
off-site. The retaining wall, seawall, if you want to call it that, is actually, it starts out on-site, goes off-site, and the marsh is down gradients of that. But it is all upland.
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
go ahead.
So the reason that you gave was to build a structure to make it, it's not worth it to go to that great length to build a little house, but at the same time, you come to the board and you're looking for a big FAR. I was just wondering if we could get the building to be knocked back a bit so we're not right on top of the road with that stairway. I mean, because still, I know there's a lot of people that would love to build from corner to corner of their lot, but that's not a good thing.
The difficulty is the width of the lot as well. It's only a 40-foot wide lot, and the building itself it's not very wide. We're going 10 feet up, so we have an L-shaped staircase. I mean, the logistics are tough. We have a driveway to the north. We really need the drive under garage in order to get off-street parking, and they wanted to connect the back deck to the porch, so there's a small walkway, if you will. To pull it back, we'd have to eliminate the walkway and to the back deck from the staircase. That would be the only way to shrink it.
Okay.
I'm looking at the plans. It looks like they have plans to build a relatively nice place. I'm also looking at the lot, and where the stairs are coming down onto a street, it's a street that nobody uses. It goes to the water. It's a street to the water.
That's correct. We're past the point of the road, the end of the pavement,
Okay,
with the staircase.
okay. So,
It literally lines the staircase that runs towards the road. We've gone past the actual road paved area.
so they stopped the pavement before your stairwell.
There is some broken up,
Yeah, okay, I get
you
it.
know, but it's not a traveled way at that point.
It's not high on the list of priorities for the town of Wareham to go in there and dig it up and repave it for the volume of traffic, which is zero. So, okay. My question would be, is this road, this paper road, something that the neighborhood uses to access the water? Do you know?
It's a paved road, isn't it?
It's a paved, yeah, it's a paved road.
Yes. The public can certainly walk down there and access the water. The seawall is a little broken up in that location, if you can see one of the photos that we attached. But, you know, you can physically probably walk down the water.
I'm looking, okay, Nimrod Way, if I'm looking at this correctly, if the shaded part is the paved part, and the unshaded part is not paved, if I'm looking at this correctly, the road goes all the way to the water, but it's only paved halfway from
Correct.
the distance from Barnacle to the water.
It becomes grass, and then it appears that somebody laid down concrete as sort of a erosion prevention measure, if you will. You can see in one of the photos in the packet.
But if I look at the locus, and I looked at the town owns the road, the road that the town owns goes all the way to the water. But the pavement only goes halfway down the side of this house.
That's correct.
So, and I don't know, I see two houses on the other side while I'm looking at this locus now. So they may use Nimrod Way to get to their two houses. Do you know where the driveways for those two lots are? Will they show them on any of these plans? Yeah. I think they do. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sure. You see it. So, yeah, the road needs to continue to exist. They can't, but the stairs are gonna be up here. Okay. I got it in my head. You guys wanna see this by, he brought it up on Zoom, on, Google Earth, I think that is, right? Whatever. Apps. Before I go, keep talking to the board. Nazir, you got any more questions? I see your hand is still up.
Yeah. On the step, I do agree the shape of the lot would dictate a hardship to put it that close to the road. Although on the, and it is an existing non-conforming with the building coverage and with the setback. So, I mean, the bylaw allows that we extend the coverage if it's non-conforming and the setbacks. However, on the variance, if the lot is 3,300 square feet, I do agree with Mr. Conti that building a 1,000 square feet house, it's pretty good size house for that size lot. It's way too intrusive to build it bigger than this. I'm not such a, I do grant variances a lot of times, as you know, but I'm not such a good fan right now for this variance for the FAR with the extension, with the building coverage and the steps. I don't have problem because he does have a hardship with the shape of the lot. The size of the lot, it's not a hardship. It's a shape, soil, topography. That's what the hardship is based on, not the shape and not the size of the lot. Thank you.
And for the record, I'm pretty sure that was Mr. Semple, not Mr. Conti, on the concern about the size. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay, just so when we get our minutes typed up, they get corrected too, and so Nazir, he can't see who said what. Okay, I'm going to open it. I'm going to see if there's anybody in the room here that wants to speak on this matter. That's going to influence our thinking, I believe. Is there anybody sitting in the room or on Zoom right now that would like to speak on this application? either in favor or against. And the notices have gone out, correct? I got them in the back of the folder here. I'm just saying that for, yeah. Well, they're uploaded, okay. So the neighbors have been notified, and there's nobody here yelling and screaming, no, no, no. I just want that in the record as well. Okay, guys, what are your thoughts?
Let's make a poll on a vote on the special permit under 1352. We could grant a special permit on building coverage and the step, so that becomes a special permit. On the variance, we should give a sense to the gentleman which way we're going, instead of denying or granting.
Give them an opportunity to come back with maybe a smaller footprint, is that what you're considering?
Exactly. So let's him to feel what the board says. This way, we don't want to shut him down for 2 years. I mean, he needs 4 out of 5.
So, what Mr. Alcalazzi is suggesting is that we telegraph this applicant our feeling on the 1,000 square foot footprint. Is it 1,000 square feet, the footprint?
Roughly 30% of the. I mean, how big is the lot? 3,300.
3760.
3760.
So it's about 1,100 square feet. It's a good sized house.
And what's the footprint of this application?
Including the garage, it's 1280.
12. So you think it needs to be cut back a little bit?
No, the footprint. Yeah, I mean, 1,100 square feet. It's a good sized house for this area.
It's a good
for
size.
this size lot. That's a good house.
Richard feels as though it needs to be cut back a little bit. Chris, how do you feel on that matter?
I feel the same way.
So you got 2 strikes. You only need 1. Troy, how do you feel on this matter?
I think it could be cut back a little as well.
You got 3 strikes and you're not even out yet because you still got the chance because the guy that's talking online is giving you the opportunity to say, I'd like a continuance.
Yes.
Yes, you would like a continuance?
Yes, I would like a continuance. The only question I would have is there leeway with this board to get a variance to be over the 30% to some degree, but just not so aggressive?
I would go with it, but this is an aggressive house. You gotta, I mean, look at where we go, maybe 5, sometimes a little bit more than that, but this is a lot.
Okay, I understand.
Just kind of kick it around, see if you can. Sorry about that, but it's the way my feelings.
No, I mean, you've requested a continuance.
Yes, I would like a continuance
Okay.
to,
Per the request of the applicant, do we have a motion to continue, and how much time would you need? Do you need 2 weeks, or do you need a month?
how soon would we have to submit revised documents?
We'd like to see the revised plans a couple weeks before you come back, so you probably do need at least a month, if not a month and a half.
We'll go with 1 month.
Just for the record, have been having people bring him in. He has been in front of us. Maybe we can give this a little bit of a leeway on that.
I'm willing to give him some leeway on that.
Because, I mean, he's already been in front of us.
Are you in a hurry to get going?
I believe my clients want to move it
clients-
along for a spring
They're
groundbreaking,
anxious
but
to spend money in Wareham?
I need to know what the next available date is based on a vacation I have coming up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to commit to something I can't commit
Yeah,
to.
no, I get you. So,
You got the 28th or the 10th of February. I mean, excuse me, 11th.
Let's do the February 11th.
February 11th?
All right, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We need to give the gentleman a a fair warning, are we set on the variance, on the FAR 30%? Because I heard them say, is there a leeway? I don't know what, I didn't understand Richard's answer. Richard, what was your answer on the FAR? Are you willing to give an extra or no?
Yes, I was willing to give an extra, but not at that extent. I mean, we usually go maybe, a few over 5 at a most, as far as percents go. So I just thought, I'd be willing to, depending on what it looks, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I would like to see a happy medium between the 30 and the 42%.
He's looking to see what they come back with. He's willing to be negotiable, but he doesn't want to say a number right now and then they'll build right to that number.
I mean, I'll give a fair number what I'm be comfortable with. 35% is my max. I just don't want to waste the gentleman's time, that's all.
That's your max.
That's my max, 35%.
How do you guys feel about that?
That'd be okay.
I think that's reasonable.
I'm good.
Man,
That's
you
terrific.
just went from 3 strikes to 5 possible yeses. All you could do
I
is
appreciate
continue
the
and
positive input, the solid input, so that we know what to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roz.
So we need a motion to continue until February 11th, 2026.
So moved.
Moved by Troy, seconded by both Richard and Chris, all at the same time. Same. Whoever's scribing can put whoever's name you want.
I'm going to put Chris.
You're going to put Chris, okay. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Mr. Alcalasi?
Aye.
Thank you for your
We'll
time.
see you then. Thank you for your time. Okay.
I got to do a
7 down, a bazillion to go. Yep, okay. Oh, 8 down. I forgot we did that one out of order. 41. 42. Next up, 4225, Zone 2550. Susan Kurioski, or Kuriakios, or whatever it is. Special permit, 26 Fisherman Cove Road. Good damn, whatever happened to Smith and Green little names, easy names like Ekabachi, Yanulovich.
Didn't we continue that one, Jim?
The one that we just did, it's continued, it's voted, it's 500.
No, the 4225, that we took it out of order, Fisherman Cove, didn't we?
No. 42,
Which
we
one?
did 4525.
41.
I get you, 4525, okay.
You really are paying attention over there, aren't you? What time is it where you are?
3 in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. You are a dedicated chairman of this board, and your efforts should be recognized.
Thank you.
Who's speaking? Good evening, Brian Grady, GAF Engineering.
I think I need to read it in, but
Yeah.
sorry, I got ahead of myself or behind myself, or
I appreciate it.
we wasted enough time for him to go pee, even though he didn't want anybody to know. That's why he got up and walked away.
I'll have to have a little sign next time.
When you're in school, you have to tell the whole room, you know. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571. Excuse me. To consider petition 4225 for a special permit from the requirements of Article 6, Table 625, under Wareham zoning bylaws to Susan, tell me how to say. Kuriako. You know, once somebody tells you, it's not so terrible. It's like Ekabachi. Kuriako, care of Brian Grady at GAF Engineering, Inc., of 266 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing to renovate the existing accessory building to a guest house located at 26 Fisherman Cove Road, Wareham, Mass. This would appear on Assessors Map 3, Lot A and L in the R43 zoning district. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Brian Grady, GAF Engineering, here for Ms. Kyriakos and Mr. D'Angelo, the contractor. So you have our package before you. You have the letter from the building commissioner, Mr. Turner. What we're requesting is a special permit for this existing accessory building. The assessors has this listed as a boathouse/cabin. Ms. Kyriakos has plans that initially called it a guest house from 120 years ago when this house and this accessory structure were built. So it wasn't initially intended to be a guest house, but it's really been used, I guess, as the bathhouse laundry for the main structure over the course of time. We're proposing or wishing to convert this to a guest house. It is connected to the on-site sewage disposal system. That system was upgraded a number of years ago, 5 years or so, and this structure was connected to it. So the structure exists and has existed for over 100 years, but the relief we're seeking is it's in front of the primary structure on the lot, so we're seeking relief for having an accessory structure in the front yard. And in its current position, it's only 8.3 feet off the sideline, so it's non-conforming with the setback, which it always has been since it was initially constructed. So as the building commissioner says in his letter, the relief required for that is a special permit. So we don't think that it's going to be detrimental to the neighborhood to convert this small accessory structure to a little one-bedroom guest house.
So it's already on it's on a private septic, it's not on town sewer?
Correct.
And it's already on its private septic, and it conforms, we're not the Board of Health, but
Yeah, it was,
they're not increasing it, they're not adding.
correct. It was added to the upgrade, which was performed a number of years ago, and it's on municipal water.
So whether or not it works, it's the Board of Health's problem, not the ZBA's problem.
That's correct.
So we can stop worrying about septic, or I can anyway. Okay, I kind of get it. I want to look at this plan a little bit. Any members of the board have any questions at this point? Mr. Alcalazzi?
Yes, Mr. Grady, so are you looking for an additional dwelling or an accessory apartment?
Well, we're calling it a guest house. It's not going to be rented, it's going to be for family use at this point.
But still a house, it's still a dwelling.
It's a dwelling unit, correct.
Okay, what size is it?
What are the dimensions? I think we have the plan in here.
It's small. It could be under 200 square feet. Let me look at it again.
12 by 16, I believe.
Why you didn't go for an ADU versus a additional dwelling?
Well, yeah, ADUs are as of right, but the only relief required per the commissioner's letter is an accessory structure in front of the dwelling, which it has existed for 100 years, and for relief for the setback to the sideline. That's the only relief that's being requested pursuant to a special permit this evening.
Did the commissioner cited that because you're changing the use of it?
Yeah, it's a change in use with the side setback and to formalize the approval of the accessory structure in the front yard. Again, even though.
That I understand.
Yep.
So your question is.
Go
Go ahead. Go ahead, Nazir.
So he's calling a special permit for changing the use for setback? Not a variance?
He's saying it's a special permit.
Huh. Okay. I yield to the board. Let the board ask questions. Let me think about this.
Yeah, I want, while you're thinking, Nazi, I think I heard during the opening comments that this was originally built as a guest house. 100
Yes,
years
that-
ago.
That's indicated on the plan. It was labeled as a guest house originally.
So it was built as a guest house and it's been used as a guest house.
Well, primarily it was
okay.
used kind of,
Cut?
I'm sorry to interrupt. So if
No,
it was
that's what
labeled like this, okay, I missed that one. So I would say that's a special permit if it was been like this forever. Okay.
You can't hear, you're listening good, but you can't hear everything. That's why there's 5 of us.
All right, very well. Thank you. Just proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so a special permit is, all you really need from us, we can stay here till 10 o'clock or we can just get to the point. All you really need from us is a special permit. Because of the change of use, which I don't think even exists because it was 100 years ago, it was a guest house and it's going to be a guest house now unless, did it stop being a guest house and was in a shed for a while or did you?
well, it was kind of used primarily, I guess, as the bathhouse laundry for the primary structure for a long period of time. So, yeah, but it was initially built to be a guest house, but it didn't function like, as such.
Maybe they abandoned the use and so it makes sense to give them a special permit. Okay. We'll call it an abandoned use, but is everybody following along? Okay, while we're all pondering this, anybody here on this matter that would like to speak, either in favor or against? I'm looking online. Anybody online? Behind the wall, you see nobody waving? No. Okay, just making sure we're not overlooking anybody.
Just for one
Go
thing,
ahead.
I'm looking through the commissioner's denial, and he's just saying that the accessory building should be equal to, shall be equal to or greater than the existing principal setback, but there's another house, 2 houses down that has a garage out in the front too. I mean, so I don't think it's gonna be detrimental to the neighborhood.
So you don't think
this is
your
a bunch-
opinion is it's not detrimental to the neighborhood? It's there, it's been there for 100 years, and for the last 100 years, there hasn't been a big lobby of people down at the town hall screaming about this structure.
That's my point.
Okay. And there's nobody from the neighborhood yelling and screaming, not fair, not fair. So,
If I may, you have enough parking for that, right? You have a couple of
oh
spots
yeah,
for
when you look at the plot plan, this is a significant property. It's one of the big ones down on the water on Fisherman Cove Road.
Yeah, there's a large
All right.
circular driveway adjacent to the principal
Yeah.
dwelling, correct?
All right.
They could have, they could have the governor down for a party in their lawn.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
The motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been made and seconded to close the public portion of this hearing. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazi?
Aye.
Okay, so nobody can talk except board members from this point forward. We got to make our decision. You guys ready to make a motion on this matter tonight, or do you want time to think about it?
Me personally, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, anybody got a motion to make?
I make a motion to accept as presented.
You want to grant them a special
Approve.
permit?
Yep. Grant a special permit for the,
For the accessory building?
for the accessory buildings.
Setback,
and the
and front and side setbacks, pre-existing, continue to exist
As presented.
as presented.
I'll second it.
Made by Richard, seconded by Troy. All in favor? I'll start with you, Nazi.
Yeah, and I would like to add the findings not detrimental to the neighborhood, and it's an aye.
I'm okay with that. Are you okay with your modification?
Yep.
Not detrimental, okay, at first and second. So again, Nazi, aye. Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
We could have taken longer and made it more painful, but
I appreciate that. Thank
you're done. Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Five zero zero. Next up is going to be 4325. Aquilas Samora Araujo and Paulina S. Lima, 16 Wareham Avenue. Are you guys here? Is it the Brady bunch again? The Grady bunch, I should say. 42, 43. I'll read it in. We still got a bunch to go. We're getting there. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 43-25 for variance or variances, plural if necessary, from the requirements of Article 6, Table 622, and 628 under the Wareham zoning bylaws to Aquilas Samora and Arugio J. and Pauline S. Lima, care of Brian Grady of GAF Engineering, Inc., of 266 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing to construct a new dwelling on the pre-existing non-conforming lot located at 16 Wareham Avenue, Wareham, Mass. This appears on Wareham Assessors Map 1, Lot 454-4, in the Onset Village 2 zoning district. Go ahead, Mr. Grady.
Thank you, Brian Grady, GAF Engineering.
George Kikitis, Kikitis Stewart Design Group, Architects. 15 Onset Avenue.
Okay.
So we're here tonight requesting a combination of things, a special permit and a variance. What's going on here, some of you may be familiar, this property had a structure on it a number of years ago, was raised, I believe, in 2023. So we're here to look to construct a new dwelling. This property consists of two lots, 454A, 455A, which these lots were created by a plan dated May 21st, 1878, so almost 150 years ago. So it's one of the older neighborhoods in town, and they're an area of very small lots. And I think you all know the neighborhood, and we all know Onset Village. So it's in Onset Village 2, per the bylaw. We are allowed 20% building coverage and 20% floor area ratio. So given the older subdivision and the size of the lots, it's kind of hard to adhere to that 20% limitation. So we're looking for some relief relative to those. Per the building commissioner's letter, which you have in your package, we are seeking relief to exceed building coverage. 20% is permitted, we're at 27.3%. And we're seeking relief for floor area ratio, again, 20% is allowable, and we are at 37%. Again, given the village location, the size of the lots, 20% on these undersized lots is difficult to adhere to for construction with current family configurations and current lot sizes. So we request, I think it's a special permit for, let me just confirm his letter again.
Is this, I'm sorry,
The bulk variances, yeah, there's not a special permit, sorry.
is this the one that was a real mess for a long, long time, and the guy went to jail or did something, he was unavailable?
I don't know the history, but yeah, there was a lot,
Yeah.
there was a lot of debris,
There
the
was a lot
town,
of, and then it got cleaned up, and now it's just a vacant lot. The thing got torn down,
the
and
town took it over, demolished it, and
you
went up.
come through Onset Center from the Buzzards Bay direction, it would be on the right going down, it would, and then when you get on Wareham Avenue, it would be on your left-hand side.
Yeah, you take the right at the
Yeah, I got it.
church,
I got it.
correct. Yep.
Right behind the place that's parked. It's parking, yeah, I get it. Okay, I know, I just wanted to place it in my brain where it is. Okay. So you have a plan here, and the building commissioner says, and I didn't have a copy of his letter, that's what I was looking for when I was.
It should be in the package. I think it's maybe the third page.
I got it. Okay, I turned it 2 pages at once and
Yeah, they stick together.
bypassed it. I got it. Okay. So you need FAR, and you need
Building
those
coverage.
OV, building coverage, max by percentage of actual lot size, 20. By 20, so you're only allowed 20 on both, and you're looking for what, 30 and 37, did I hear?
Well, yeah, the 20% on the building coverage, we're exceeding by 7.3%, and the
So
floor.
that's 27, not
20
37.
Well, we're exceeding by 7, so 27.3%, correct. And on the floor area ratio, we're at 37%.
FAR,
If I may, when you have a chance.
go ahead, no, go ahead, speak, go ahead, Nazi, I'm reading.
All right, how much, well, the biggest hurdle we have to pass first, if the lot is buildable or not. Now, how long ago was the building was taken down? It's been over 2 years.
I believe it
correct.
has.
Yeah, it was just over, like 2.5 years ago, so it does exceed the 2 years, correct.
So I think this is the big hurdle we have to pass. And what would be the hardship to make this lot buildable? I don't see any hardship to make it buildable. Who acquired this lot? Who owns the lot now?
The clients live next door currently, and this is where they intend to move. The family has owned the house for 103 years. They've been in that neighborhood for multiple generations. The neighborhood, as described, is a very old neighborhood. A lot of the houses are taking up the entire lots in some cases, not in all. And, you know, it's like that. We have 2 lots, so this lot in this particular neighborhood is actually bigger than most that are there. And the house was designed to really accommodate their family, their mother who needs assisted living, and so this is some of the programmatic descriptions at why the house is the size that it is and the way we live today. So again, all the houses that are there now, including the one they live in, are all built, 100 years ago, and they were summer houses originally. And also, the other thing is that we're in the flood zone. So that's another reason why the vast majority of the houses haven't been touched, because of that. There is one structure on 11th Avenue at the very beginning it's on the corner, so you got Wareham and 11th. On the very top of 11th, there is a blue house, exact rectangle, right on the street, very large, out of character of the neighborhood. And my clients have gone over the design to be contextual, to be a vernacular design that fits into the neighborhood, kind of similar to that poster that you see on the wall here, which you probably can remember, except a little higher due to the flood zone. So that's kind
I'm,
of,
I'm sure you're doing a good job with the architect. My question is,
Yep.
they owned that lot previously or they acquired it?
they bought it.
It was,
They bought.
it was
Okay.
auctioned by the town of Wareham. So
Okay.
the property was raised over 2 years ago. I have a letter. I didn't include it in your packet. I didn't know buildability would come into question. The
Of
letters
course it
from,
would.
well, the letters from Paul Turner, which, if I can recall, it stated that, yes, this is a buildable lot, and they can rebuild as of right if they do it within the 2-year timeframe.
Right.
Outside the 2-year timeframe, we would have to come before you with the requested relief that we are here before you now. But the letter did state it's a buildable lot. The house was raised. You can come back within that 2-year timeframe and can reconstruct as of right. Obviously, the 2-year timeframe has been exceeded, so we're here seeking the appropriate relief.
And I would just mention that the existing house that was gone now was a pretty large house. And although I don't have the dimensions, the FAR was pretty close to what we're proposing.
I do remember the house. Is it possible, Brian, pass the deed to Sonia, take a picture and send me a copy of the deed if you don't mind, the front page? All right, I pass back to the board and let's discuss.
I want to discuss with you too, Naz.
Let's discuss if I mean, what's the wishes of the board? Now, you need a variance to make that lot buildable. I mean, it's been abandoned, legally it's abandoned over 2 years, unfortunately. So before we talk about FAR and lot coverage, we need to see if the board gonna grant a variance to make the lot buildable or not. At the time, the commissioner, like Mr. Grady said, at the time when the town sold it, it was buildable. So it wasn't that, so the town didn't trick the buyers. But they failed to come within the 2 years, unfortunately.
So Nazi, along those lines, I want to further muddy the waters. I don't know if the building commissioner knew, but in testimony tonight, the people that own this now own the abutting parcel.
Exactly. That
So
makes it worse.
So it becomes part of that parcel.
It's different ownership. It's family, but it's different owner family.
Okay, so that's separate.
So they were
Yes.
smart enough to put it in somebody else's name. Or
Well,
it's bought in-
it's parents and children, it's family.
Parents, okay, it's not,
so it's not
it's
same
not
owner.
the
So
same owner. The
Yeah,
same-
they haven't joined.
The same entity hasn't owned the abutting parcel and now bought this.
Right. And
It's two different entities.
I think per other Paul Turner correspondence, it meets the requirements of pre-existing non-conforming lot, which is 50 feet of frontage and 5,000 square feet. Please correct me. That's,
What size is the lot, Brian?
it's 5,544 square feet. It has 65 feet of frontage on 11th Street and 76 feet of frontage on Wareham Ave.
So it's a buildable lot, so what's the variances for?
The
On the
variance-
village too, isn't that 5,000 or 7,500?
Yeah, we meet the requirements for pre-existing non-conforming. It's 10,000 square feet and OV2.
Okay, so
But-
it is a variance.
Yeah, but it's
Because OV2 needs a 10,000.
Right, but we would
All
say
right.
it's pre-existing non-conforming and hasn't been held in common ownership, and it meets that 50-foot of frontage, 5,000 square feet.
And so the FAR max by percentage is 20, and you're looking on the FAR for how much?
27.3, 27.3.
27.3%. And on the building coverage max, it's 20%, and you're looking for how much?
Well, building coverage is 27.3, the floor area is 37.
37%. So,
All right, let's go, why don't we go step by step?
yep,
I mean, I feel horrible for the in-laws, and they did pay a lot of money for this lot, having been late 6 months. I'll be willing to grant a variance personally. That's my vote as a buildable lot, and then we could discuss the others. I don't know how the board feels about that before we go any further.
I don't think that the commissioner's letter calls for us to determine whether it's buildable or non-buildable. All he wants is us to address the density and dimensional regulations, FAR and building coverage. That's it. That's all he's looking for. He'll grant the
Right,
permit
but-
otherwise.
I don't know why he didn't call it. It needs 7,500 square feet, which they don't have. We need to address this matter. And it's been abandoned over 2 years. It's, right now, as it stands, it's not a buildable lot.
So you feel as though we need to vote to deem it buildable before we... Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Do we need to advertise it that we're gonna vote?
No, that's fine. I mean, is there neighbors around? Is there any public neighbors in, for or against?
I think we should find that out before we, let's all stop talking for a minute and let me ask that question. Is there
Okay.
anybody here on this matter that would like to speak either in favor or against this application? How about online? Not at this time, okay. All right, Nazzy, we don't have any neighbors yelling and screaming, and the room
That's
is
good
half
news.
as big as it was when we started this evening.
All right, well, we get good news. So let's pass this order. How's the board feel about the variance to make it buildable? I delayed 6 months, so I passed the question, Jim.
I'm good with it. How about the rest of the board? I'm good with it. Troy's good with it. Richard, how do you feel?
I'm good with it.
You're good. Chris?
I'm okay. I'm good.
You're okay, so everybody's in a good mood tonight, Naz. We're gonna be, say that it's a buildable lot.
All
We
right,
need-
so
We need
let's
to make that in the form of a
discuss-
motion, don't we?
No, that's fine. We'll do the motion at the end. So let's go for the FAR and, my mind was on buildable or not buildable. So what you looking for for building coverage first?
They're
How much-
looking
how
for
much-
27.3. They're allowed 20. They're looking for 27.3%
37.
Building.
building coverage. Top one's
And
27.
how about FAR?
FAR, they're looking for 37%.
And what's over there?
They're granted 20%. So they're looking for, they're looking for 17% over on the floor area ratio.
How big the lot? 5,000, 5,500?
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood. This lot is 5,500. Many of the other lots in the neighborhood are 3,600. It's, the subdivision that created these lots was 1878. So it's a 150-year-old neighborhood designed with these small 3,600 square foot lots. This is a double lot on a corner.
And how many people are gonna occupy the house? He was saying the parents.
Approximately 5.
There could be as many as
5
5 people living there, Naz.
All right, pass it to the board. See what the board thinks. So you need 2 variances.
We need, yeah, one for building coverage and one for floor area ratio. The floor area ratio is based on multiple stories. Do you, off the top of your head, know what the footprint is? What's the total square foot of the structure that's gonna be built? Are they building 2,000 square foot house, 1,500?
It's 1,035 on the first floor, 770.
So close to 2,000, but it's only 1,000 on the footprint.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So I've always felt as though the FAR should be based on the footprint instead of the number of stories, but that's me, and that's not what our bylaw says.
We have that half story, which is basically
Yeah.
Cape Cod Corky. It's all
Yeah,
sloped.
I got it.
Yeah, so-
I get it, and, you know, my opinion in the bylaw, just because they don't agree, doesn't mean I'm wrong. I mean, I'm right. So,
if I-
anybody
if I-
else?
If I go through that and I add them up, am I at, I'm looking at the
What do you
prints
get?
that you gave in, and I'm totaling up, says first floor, second floor, half story, and deck, right? So we're looking at 2,600 square feet?
Does that sound right to you?
That's building coverage. I
Building
mean,
coverage.
because the deck doesn't count
No.
as FAR.
Okay, so
Take the deck out of that, please.
you got two.
Brian, what's the building coverage there?
The square footage
No, what's allowed, 20?
allows 20%.
20%.
So that's,
20%
All right,
of
if you-
5,000, 1,000.
that's the issue with these small lots, only getting 20% of these very undersized lots. It's difficult to comply.
But the perimeter of the house is 1,035 square feet. The 20% of 55, that gives you that, no?
Well, building coverage includes decks and things like that, whereas FAR does not.
Okay.
Got it? So on the building coverage, they'd be under the 20% if we weren't counting the decks, but we're counting the decks. On the FAR, they'd be closer to it as well, but they're over because of the, the way it's figured. They're over it by 17%. And then if you look at the plans, they're building a fairly nice place.
Pass that along the board. Let's see what the board says.
I know Richard's over there scrubbing his figures. What,
I'm listening, and
okay, I didn't know, I knew you were doing some math. How do you feel about this thing?
I don't really have a
Think it's a
problem with
lot of house, or you think you're okay with it?
it. I think I'm okay with it.
Chris, how do you feel about this? You think it's too much for the lot, or for the area, or do you think you'd be inclined to let them slide?
I do think the FAR is too high.
You think the FAR is too high? And Nazzy, what do you think?
I mean,
I agree with Chris. We just.
Okay, so you got two strikes on the FAR.
I mean, the couple of hearings before that, Nimrod Way, we sent the gentleman away.
Yeah, and I haven't even asked Richard yet, so you could be, you want to continue and look at the FAR floor area, let's see if he can cut down the,
well, we came up with 35%.
for somebody else as a max.
As a max, and we're looking at 37 now, so.
but I think on that case, they were allowed 30%.
Yeah, they were,
Well, it's different, but as far as the size of the buildings, yeah, I get what you're saying.
good point, Chris. So, but I hear at least two, if not three of our members saying they're not comfortable with the FAR. So, it doesn't look like you're gonna get a favorable vote tonight. Would you like the opportunity to relook at your plans, or do you want us to vote tonight?
No, we'll relook at the plans.
You're looking for for a continuance. Do you need 2 weeks or 4 weeks? 2 weeks? So that would be, come back on, January 28th, is it? Am I saying the right day? Okay. I need a motion to continue until.
If I may, Mr. Chair, just to be fair to the applicant, like we were to the other
Yeah.
applicant, we'd like to send him so he knows what he's gonna work on. The board okay with the building coverage? I'm okay with the building coverage. Is the board okay? Troy, are you okay?
I'm okay with it.
Chris?
I think everybody's already kind of accepted the building coverage. I think we're stuck on the
Okay.
FAR, Naz.
Now, at FAR is 20% there. How much leeway the board willing to give? This is the question. We don't want him to go draft something and come back, we say, okay, no good, go back. I mean, the board gotta give him some directions.
I thought that 35 number was nice.
No, 35 because Pinehurst's 30%, Troy. Onset Village is 20% FAR. That's the difference. You understand?
Yeah, 20%, as I said, it's difficult for these small undersized lots to really get.
Are you thinking he should try to seek to get it down to a 30% coverage if FAR, Nazi? Is that what you're suggesting, or is
No,
there?
what I'm trying to explain to Troy that in Pinehurst, the gentleman before, he's allowed 30%. We said 35.
Yeah.
Over here, they allowed 20. So you guys pick a number, I'll go along with it.
I'd give them 100% because I'm generous, but, so you won't want me picking the number. What do you guys think? What do you think? FAR is at 37%, you're supposed to be at 20%. 20% of, what do you got, 5,500 square foot lot?
5544, yep.
5544, so, what's 20% equal to, 1,000 square feet or something like that?
About 1,050.
What is it now, so
1,100.
much? So,
1,100.
what would 1,500 square feet be? What percentage would that, can anybody do that math quick in their head?
Yeah.
1,500 square foot structure.
Time.
That would be 1,500 divided by 50.
27%.
That's 27%, that's a 10% adjustment. You think you could get, you think it's possible to squeeze this plan that much?
That's very difficult. with the-
That's
with the-
difficult?
with the-
It's gonna be hard, huh?
It's a good size, that's good 3-bedroom house, 1485. Whatever the board wishes, I go along.
You guys have any opinions on the FAR?
I was originally going to say 28%.
You were gonna say 28?
Yeah.
Richard, how do you feel?
I was in that ballpark. I was
You were in that
between
ballpark?
28, maybe 30 if we got anything, if I heard
Ray, how do
anything
you
said,
feel?
but
I was okay with it, but I mean,
You were okay with it, so we don't care how you feel. Sit there and be quiet.
it's just, it's in onset. If we turn around and start going above that so much, then what are we gonna do?
I was
It's
just
gonna-
considering the size of the lot.
And I
Yeah, I
apologize
gotcha.
the fact that
It's a
it's a
big one.
hardship, it's a good size, it's the size of the lot. And again, feasible, what it's worth, it's not worth putting a small lot on, but at some point, we can't just blow the FAR out of the water.
Right.
Or the building coverage, excuse me, I keep mixing them.
I
got you.
agree.
No, I got you. We wanna try to help them out, but we gotta try to somewhat go along with the bylaw too.
But could you imagine if we hit this, and how many people would be coming in, you start.
Build
something
them
like
right to the corner.
Yeah, well, that's
make
what
the front
everybody
door
does, but
Steps land on the sidewalk.
that's onset.
I'm okay with that,
Mr. Clerk,
but, go ahead.
before you take a motion to continue, your January 28th meeting is getting pretty heavy at this point. You have some pretty extensive projects already scheduled
Okay,
for West Street,
and what's after the 28th?
February 11th.
11.
I would make a recommendation that you start continuing hearings tonight to February 11th if they're going to be continued.
Yeah, okay, February 11th, okay. And it looks like you, I don't know, haven't done the math yet. What's 28% of 5,400?
1550.
Huh?
1550.
1,550, and you guys are building what, 16 or 17 or something? Something like that?
Total square?
Do you guys know? Well, it looks like I'm hearing that they want to see a 1,550 square foot building on this lot, or no greater than, is what I think I'm hearing. So, you guys asked for a continuance. Mr. Okolazzi suggested we give you some kind of a target.
I
Go
appreciate
see what
that.
you can do with that. If you gotta come back and beg for more, then, that's your decision, or if you can meet it, even better, then you can say, but you guys said.
So 28%?
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to continue to February 11th.
So moved.
Moved by
Chris?
Chris, seconded by
Second,
Richard. All in favor, Nazzy?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Okay, you're continued until February 11th.
Thank you very much.
Good luck,
you.
gentlemen. Thank you for coming in. And I'll close this folder. And the next one up is gonna be, Keating. Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 44-25 for a special permit from the requirements of Article 6, Table 628, under the Wareham zoning bylaws to John Keating, care of Donald Carrera, Esquire, of 59 Court Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing construction of an ADU using the detached garage on the property located at 18 Highland Road, Wareham, Mass. Assessors map 61, lot 1140, in the Wareham Village 2 zoning district.
Evening.
Go ahead.
Thank you. With me is my associate counsel, Olivia Miller, who helped prepare the presentation for tonight. So, as a backdrop to our petition, I wanted to make a comment about the exchange of communications with Paul Turner. When Mr. Turner denied the original application, I responded to him with my letter of October 31, which is part of the package, and I'm not sure how this board has handled these ADU applications in the past. I know it's like the hottest thing in town, and there's a lot of them going on, but this situation is quite different. It was our position that the calculation that Mr. Turner arrived at, and it's all in my memo the board has, was incorrect as a matter of law, because his calculation was based upon Article 6 of the bylaw, which measured the proposed usage of the ADU against the square footage of the lot. And under the CMR 760 regulation, which is under the Affordable Housing Statute that created the AUD to begin with, that interpretation, we believe, is wrong, and that the ADU calculation cannot be based upon the square footage of a lot. In fact, the regulation speaks directly to that issue, that it should be disregarded, and that's the whole point of having an ADU on an existing lot. That being said, he denied it, and although he was very cooperative and cordial in his interpretation, communications with me, of course, because of the denial, we proceeded to file the request for special permit. So on the request for special permit, assuming that the FAR does apply to square footage of the lot, because that was the basis on which it was denied, what we have here is the fact that it's a building that has pre-existed for a long time. Presently, the use of the structure is not being occupied, but an important point is that there's no proposed additional building structure to occur, just the existing building. And so as a result of that, even applying the FAR 20% rule, we have an existing FAR of 27.19, and the proposed addition is only 1.9% above the existing, which will bring it up to 29.10. Another point to be made is that, as this board is well familiar with many ADU applications, I'm sure, the maximum amount permitted by 760 CMR and the underlying enabling statute adopted by the state would give you up to 900. But in this particular case, we're not going there because we're only 50% max. The square footage of the existing structure is 1375, and therefore the maximum of that 50% would be 683, substantially below a typical ADU that this board would vote on. Well, actually, the board doesn't really even vote on ADUs for the most part, if in fact they comply with the with the law, it's just a building permit and you're done. And the board never hears from that. So I'm not sure how unique this application is in that respect. Now, Mr. Turner took the position that we're expanding a non-conforming use from 27.19 to 29.10, and therefore denied, but invited the application for the special permit, which, that's why we're here. So even if the interpretation is correct, that the application would be relevant to the square footage of the lot, we would only be at 29.10. And therefore, we believe that that's not a large expansion, even with the assumption of that criteria. Mr. Keating is here, and the main structure that's involved is a three-family, and he lives in one of the units. And because of medical conditions, mainly hips, that are deficient, he would actually propose to be living in the unit himself, which adds the personal element to the application, I would hope. The structure is existing, as I said, and no expansion of that construction is proposed. The other dimensional requirements under Article 6 and the town's addition of 6.28 recently modifying the whole dimensional requirements that are there, we have met those, or they're grandfathered in because of the structure being there for many, many years. So that's basically our proposal, except to say that part of our package tonight, we have 26 letters of support from the neighbors, and not a single one who was approached said, no, we won't support your situation. The property's been in ownership for quite some time. The original deed is in the package as well. And so that's basically our presentation to allow for that special permit pursuant to 48-15 special permit application underlying 48 Section 6.
Thank you. So, I haven't read the building commissioner's response in its entirety myself. I've kind of glanced at it. But I'm personally a little confused and admitting that I'm not well-versed or as well-versed on this matter as I'd like to be. But it seems to me that ADUs were something that were created for single and two-family properties. And this is already a three-family. So it's already three. So they've got a two, and the third unit could be considered the ADU. I mean, at what point do you stop saying the ADU law kicks in? I thought, my recollection of the ADU decision by the state was for single-family properties to become eligible by right for an additional dwelling unit. This isn't a single family. And then also it further went on, if my recollection is correct, that if you had a two-family, you could still get an ADU. This property is a three-family already. I don't see where they qualify for an ADU. That's my response. I'm not going to be willing to take a positive vote on this matter this evening. I'd be willing to vote for a continuance and discuss it with town council, because I may be interpreting the law or the modification in the state regulations incorrectly. But I just want to put that out up front. Anything else from any other members of the board?
Nazir has something
Mr.
to say.
Chairman has his hand up.
Okay, Mr. Okolasi, go ahead.
Yes, I do understand what the chairman saying. Unfortunately, the state law on ADU is vague. It does say, the state law says ADUs are allowed wherever a single family is allowed. It doesn't state one family or two families or
It says
three.
single
It could be-
family.
Right, as long as you can build a single family, ADU is allowed. It does not say of a maximum of two family. So let's say whatever, Settlers Glen, they do 150 unit, they could do an ADU, unfortunately. That's how I read the state law. However, in this matter, we have a couple of issues of, there's few violations issue. To begin with, the place has been built without a permit. The gentleman has been renting it as an Airbnb, yet this does not mean, it doesn't mean we should deny him zoning rights or not. My question comes in, what's the setback of the garage from the sideline, Counselor?
The map is in the package. It would take a minute to look at it.
1 foot?
1 foot.
1 foot?
1 foot?
1 foot.
Okay, and I believe in this area, it's 10 foot. My opinion in this matter, and I think it stands, being in 1 foot and then you change in the use, you need to meet zoning. I do believe you're allowed for an ADU even with 3 family, as long as you could provide parking and you don't go over building coverage, but you need to meet setback zoning, otherwise you will be required a variance.
Can I respond to both issues?
Sure.
Please do.
The first issue, I do agree with the comment that was just made that the 760 CMR doesn't restrict it to a single family, two family, or any other family. The purpose of the legislative, when we first started to deal with ADUs, it was interesting that they're under the affordable housing law and not under the, per se, under the zoning enabling act. And so the purpose of them was to make affordable housing so that both the occupant of that affordable housing could be a tenant, could rent it to a stranger, or the owner of the premises could maintain their home based upon the fact they could supplement the income by a rent on the ADU to help taxes and other dimensional, other requirements of the main home. There is a requirement that the owner of the premises live there. That's a fact. And so therefore, in this case, not only do we live there, but we intend to live in the unit itself. My view of it is that we could have proposed the ADU and Mr. Keating could have stayed where he's at, and that still would have been permissible. But in this case, he accentuates the issue of living there to live in the actual unit. Now, we all understand that, we have a proposed personalized component to that. In terms of the setback requirements, I made a point in my memo to say that we either comply with them or they're grandfathered. And so if we were expanding that building, I say in the memo, we wouldn't be entitled. No question. If we had any physical expansion of the building. We have zero physical expansion of the building. So now we're only down to the use of the building, and the state statute really does take supremacy over anything that the local bylaw may do. In fact, 760 does say that the town could make some reasonable regulations referable to even an ADU. However, those reasonable regulations can't prevent usage altogether. And so therefore, it's our position that, the ADU would be allowed. It's interesting, Mr. Chairman, that you mentioned about town council, because in my exchange of letters with Mr. Turner, his denial letter of October 2, and my response letter, I suggested to him that if he had some doubts about the interpretation of the law, which would not be surprising in terms of the, complexity of the law, that we table things, he extend the time for filing the application, and we seek town council opinion. I made that suggestion on October 31. Instead of that, he was very cordial and said, well, the board can make its own decision. I'm going to stick with my denial. I appreciate your position, and just go forward with it. So that's why we're here tonight. I think that if town council were consulted, it would, I would assume, be a favorable decision that the ADU is not prohibited because it's an existing three-family. The whole intent of the state law is affordable housing. Get another unit for people that can't otherwise afford it, 900 square feet maximum. Get the owner of the property to get some income so they can preserve their ownership of the primary structure. And the only requirement is that the owner live there. So I think that I would be confident the town council would be in favor of our interpretation of the bylaw. Maybe, sometimes I get, sometimes I get a little bit professorial. Maybe this is a cause célèbre that needs to be decided by the appeals court or the Supreme Court. I think it's a great case. But on the other hand, I don't think we need that, because I think we have the permissibility built in to the application.
Council, I'm not denying that he's allowed to have an ADU. And I said that the law, the 760 CMR, it is vague, but it does allow it as long as you can build a single family. We're not arguing this. I'm arguing you changing the use. You telling me in your memo, you put that if it's existing, you're not adding, it doesn't need, you don't need a variance. I disagree. When you change the use, you need to change, you need a variance.
But think of it this way.
You need setbacks.
But think of it this way. You're changing the use of an existing structure because right now it's not used for residential purposes, right? Think of it this way. We could build an ADU from scratch up, right on the lot. Any lot in the town of any city that adopts the state.
Any lot with an existing primary structure.
Correct.
Right, any lot that is based upon an existing structure owned and occupied by the owner. So the fact that you could build a structure from the ground up is a whole lot more intense, if you will, than putting a unit in an existing structure. So
I do agree. If you build it, you're allowed to do it. If you meet setback, you're allowed to do it.
Right. So
I do agree.
But it
But
doesn't meet the
I
setbacks.
insist that you need a variance first. Let me continue, please. I insist that you need a variance when you change the use if you want to stay at the same setback.
the variance from the setback requirements?
That's what he's saying.
So, this building has been there, whether he's gone through the right channels, Airbnb or whatever, he's not the first person, there's still people in this town that are doing it now. He's trying to upgrade it, he's got 26 people in the neighborhood, which this board always is in favor. If you've got people that are in favor of it, then we kind of take it off. If there's nobody complaining, the structure's there, he brings it up to code, okay, so if he needs a variance from the setbacks, if that's what the case is, but I don't understand why this project isn't going forward. It's unbelievable. There's some reason why we're stopping one person when this board always, if we're in favor, 26 letters. How many houses around that building? 26, and everybody's in favor of it, and you don't find one guy that's here complaining about it now? I think this whole thing is getting crazy. For a little small apartment for a man to live in, I think I personally, I'm on board with this. I think this is just a whole bunch of, I don't know what, but it's really, really way too big for what it really needs to be. The gentleman's got a structure, he wants to bring it up to code, he wants to work with the town, and he wants to move in. How much more does he need to do? That's my problem. I've heard enough over this small little building. It's not even close to the 900. If the man needs a variance to do it because he's changing the use, let him get a variance. But why is he shot down with 26 letters of appeal? 20, I thought I counted 28, but I might be wrong.
I could be wrong, too. Could be 28.
But I mean, this, on all the guidelines, we've been doing it tonight, saying how far the FAR do. This board is always favored if there's enough letters in without any contest. So, my opinion is, I'm ready to make a decision now, so.
So I have a comment, if I could.
Sure. Yeah, sorry.
So back in January 22nd, almost a year ago, he came to the board, and he applied for an accessory dwelling that we denied.
Right.
With prejudice.
Right.
So under Chapter 40A, Section 16, there's a 2-year look back. Now, is he back here because it's a different use, it's an ADU? And how does, I guess, Chapter 40A, Section 16, the 2-year, account for this case?
It is not applicable, and the reason it's not applicable is that back in the previous application, we didn't have the ADU, and now we do. An ADU is set up by the state legislature to trump any inconsistencies in the law. So we're not guided by or measured by the prior application that was denied, nor Section 16, because it's a whole new ballgame when it comes to the ADU. So if he applied for an ADU, if ADUs were available back then and it got denied, I'd agree. Any kind of similarity between the application denied and today's application, I'd agree 100%. But that's not the case. ADU trumps all that and says, look, you got a property, you live in it, you can add up to 900 square feet, and that's like a brand-new law that supersedes everything else. That's the whole, if you read the legislative commentary when this law passed, it passed with a lot of, input and a lot of public opinion at the state level. And again, I understand it was still an enabling statute, similar to 40A, and it has 40A components in it, no question about it. But if you read that, it's all about affordable housing and something brand new that's never occurred before. In other states it has, but not in Massachusetts. So think of it this way, it's a whole new zoning law. It doesn't have any comparable analysis, whether it be accessory building use that was denied before, or any other usage. He could have used it for any one of the purposes. I don't particularly agree that there's a change of use because the ADU creates the use from the ground up. First time out. First batter up is the ADU.
I have another question. I know Nazi has something. Earlier, you mentioned that he's only going to do 650 square feet?
Yes, correct. 658 square.
And that's the entire structure, or that's just a portion of it?
No, that's just a living area. The 760 is measured 683.
So the 683
is living space.
Part of, and do you happen to know the square footage of the entire structure?
Mr. Keating's here.
He said 800.
800, yeah.
About 800, so it's still under the...
Right.
If he wanted to do the whole thing, it's still under the 950.
Exactly. And we didn't push that, well, you can't push that, because the maximum ADU structure can be no more than 50% of the main...
Of the primary structure.
That's
So
right.
would the primary structure be 3 apartments, or would it be one of the 3?
Oh, no, they're altogether is 1376. 1375. 1375.
Are there 3 primary structures, or is it a 3 families?
One building.
One of those 3 units, the primary, and the other 2... I'm just trying to understand.
No.
It's a good mental exercise.
No, the primary structure is, the entire building is 1375.
Nazi, you had your hand up before. I wanted to hear what you had to
Yes.
say, but...
Going back, again, I do agree with the counselor. it's, first of all, ADU wasn't there, and as well as it's a completely different application, even though Mr. Conte has mentioned it's been less than a year, he's allowed to come in with a different application, especially because ADU. I still insist it needs a variance for the setback. Although Mr. Sample is not happy with this, I understand.
No,
He could
I agreed
express-
with the variance.
Okay, that's fine. You could express this with your vote. We have to do some due diligence. That's a tight area, and it's all mostly single families and two families, already three families, and this now will make it 4 units. It's all what it is. There's no sense to get hypered up or upset about it. Bottom line, we'll vote, and whatever the vote is, we'll carry.
So, and
I
just,
yield back to you, sir.
just for clarification, I think the setback is a side setback, not a rear setback. I looked at the plan quick. I think I've heard rear, but a couple times in conversation.
Side or rear? You change
I just want
between
clarity on anybody that may be watching online or sitting in the room here. I believe that it's 1 foot from the sideline, not from the rear. Not that it matters, whoever's on that side of the property isn't here yelling and screaming that it's too close to their house. I just wanted
Did
to...
you ask the public yet? Anyone in the public want to speak in favor or against in the room? Is that against?
We've already asked that. We can ask it again. Is there anybody here that would like to speak on this matter, either in favor or against? Hearing none, what about online? None online at this time, so that's twice we've asked that now on this matter.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
no
you.
problem. So, again, we've got a lot of things on the menu tonight, on the agenda tonight. Mr. Semple makes a point that there's no sense beating a dead horse. If the board feels as though this is something that we can find palatable, then let's just stop discussing it and make a vote. Is everybody willing to grant a variance for the side setback? Are you, Naz?
I'm not.
You're not. You'd be against it, so you need the 4 of us to be in
Well,
fit.
well, if I may, let me explain now that because there's attorneys involved and stuff. First of all, the building commissioners calls for a special permit.
Correct.
So we need, if we're gonna go for a variance, first of all, we gotta overturn his decision and go to a variance. This is the first thing we're gonna do. This is the first thing, Mr. Chairman, you gotta ask. You need to pull a vote to see if you wanna overturn the commissioner decision on the special permit, turn it to a variance. Everything else, I totally agree with the counselor, with the 760 CMR, all the stories he told. I'm only stuck on the setback. This is something the board has to decide. You want to overturn the commissioner or stick by his decision as a special permit? Then you could act on it as a special permit.
Well, the commissioner wants us to act, or says we could act as a special permit for a
Correct.
small
I
lot.
disagree. Correct. I disagree. But we
FAR.
have the right, Mr. Chair, if I may. You absolutely, I know he says special permit, but I disagree, and we have the power to overturn his decision and says it's a variance. If the board votes to overturn his decision, it carries as a variance. So I think if a councilor wants to close this public hearing, we could close and start deliberating on what we're gonna do.
Well, I don't have a problem with closing the public portion of this. I just want to make sure that we're talking about 2 different things here. One is a special permit for lot area coverage, and then the other one is a setback. So that's 2 different things. Setback by variance, FAR by special permit. I understand what you're saying. We can say we don't think the FAR matters in this, on this application. And we
Not
can
on ADUs, it doesn't apply. That council
So
is
then
correct.
we can overturn that decision, but then we can impose, I believe, if that's what I'm hearing you say, we can impose the requirement for variance for the 1-foot setback because of the change in use to an ADU.
Why don't we close the public hearing if you wish, Mr. Chair?
Say it
and
again?
everybody can throw his motion. How's that?
Say it again?
We close the public hearing if you wish, if
Yeah.
the applicants don't have any more things to add, and everybody can throw a motion they want.
Okay, I'm good with that. I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on what so we've given everybody twice the chance, so does somebody like to make a motion to close the public portion of this hearing?
Sure, I'll make the motion, close the public.
Mr. Conti has moved to close the public portion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Larson. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Chris, aye.
Okay, and
And
Nazzy?
myself, aye.
Okay,
Aye.
so that's it. We're not taking any input from the applicant or the public at this point. It's all amongst the 5 members of the board. Okay, amongst the 5 members of the board, it seems to me, listening to our real chair, Mr. Alcalasi, who's very well versed on these matters, that he disagrees with the need for a special permit on the...
I'll make a motion if you wish, Mr.
Go
Chair.
ahead.
All right, I'll make a motion to overturn the building commission decision that it's a special permit due to the setback, and I address it as a variance.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Seconded by Richard?
Richard.
Okay, all in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazzy?
Myself, aye.
5-0-0. So we've overturned the building commissioner's decision that we need a special permit for FAR. We don't need a special permit for FAR. But we've also voted that we need a variance for the setback on the side of only 1 foot. Does somebody like to make a motion to grant a variance for a side setback?
I motion to grant variance for the side setback
To 1 foot.
to 1 foot.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Conti. All in favor? Mr. Alcalasi?
No.
No. Okay, Mr. Larson?
Aye.
Aye. Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Okay. You got your variance. You don't need a special permit. We overturned the building commissioner's decision. We're done.
Thank you
There you go.
very much.
Nice and simple. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking, Naz. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Nas.
Thank you, Richard, for your input.
Now we're in Candle Paper Lane.
45, I think we've already done. Okay. Keating. Variance for setback. 500. Okay, we did 45, 25, 46, 25. Cornish,
Jim,
Candle Paper Lane.
that wasn't 500.
What's that?
That variance vote?
No, it was
That was 410.
I'm sorry, you're right, it was for, he voted nay. Thank you. That's why I say it out loud as I'm writing it. Thank you. 410. Nazi. N-A-Y. It's, The zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 46-25 for an appeal of the building inspector denial letter to William D. Cornish, trustee of Matthew J. Costa, care of, let me go back. Subject to an appeal for the building inspector's denial letter to William D. Cornish, trustee, care of Matthew J. Costa, Esquire, of 73 Washington Street, Taunton, Mass., proposing to construct a new dwelling located at 0 Candlepaper Lane, Wareham, Mass. This would appear on Assessors Map 92, Lot ME, in the MR30 zoning district. Go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Your name and
Yep.
go ahead.
Yep, so my name is Matthew Costa. I'm the attorney for the petitioner. I have an office at, it's Gay and Gay PC, 73 Washington Street in Taunton. And with me is Bob Rogers from GAF Engineering, who prepared the plan that was the subject of the building permit application. And also with me on my left is Mr. Cornish, the property owner and the applicant. I think a good starting point for reviewing this is the letter that the building commissioner issued.
Okay.
So November 12th, 2025, my client, he applied for a building permit for this parcel. The grounds for the building permit application were basically that no zoning relief was needed, and so an application was submitted just through the normal building permit application process. And the building commissioner had some questions, which were, addressed by Mr. Cornish. At the time, he had a different attorney who submitted a letter in support of the application. And the building commissioner's denial letter, he states that he's denying the application based on lack of clarification that parcel E is a buildable lot. And then he also, he stated that he had input from town council and the attorney for the applicant. And he didn't have a convincing argument that the lot was a buildable lot, regardless that the site meets zoning requirements dimensionally. So in the letter, our reading of it is he acknowledged that it met zoning requirements, and he didn't cite any provision of the zoning bylaw. So he didn't say that there wasn't enough frontage, or it didn't meet setbacks, or that there was a notation on a plan somewhere, or a deed restriction, or anything. So we took this and we filed this appeal. And so our position is that it's a buildable lot, that no variance is needed. The building commissioner didn't say a variance was needed. He didn't say that any relief was needed. He just said he wasn't sure, essentially. So with the petition, I submitted a statement of reasons that outlines our reasons in support. We reviewed all the provisions of the zoning bylaw. It's an MR30 zoning district, the parcel. Has 31,415 square feet of land. It's kind of a unique parcel in that there's no direct abutter, because it's at the end of Candlepaper Lane, and it's the remaining parcel from the development of the subdivision that's in the center of the ring road at the end of the road. It's not truly a cul-de-sac. I think of a cul-de-sac as a turnaround. This is more like it's like a ring at the end, and there's a parcel of land in the center it's 30,000 plus square feet. I think the question that the building commissioner had was based on probably the subdivision approval. That's what our understanding is, because he mentions the subdivision approval in his letter. So we looked through the subdivision approval, and the subdivision approval by the planning board, it listed out the parcels that were not buildable. And it didn't say that this parcel was not buildable.
Okay.
And so when we look at it, we say, okay, there's no planning board requirement. The plan didn't say open space parcel to be owned by a homeowners association. It didn't say not a buildable lot because it doesn't conform with zoning. The only thing it did say, we'll acknowledge, is the planning board said it should be landscaped, and we have the plan up on a board, and that's kind of, that's not a deed restriction. They didn't say it wouldn't be buildable, and it will be landscaped. So We don't view that as an issue at all. So we're here asking the zoning board to overturn the building commissioner and approve the issuance of a building permit for this parcel. And there's no other relief we know to ask for because there is no other relief that we need. I'll just put it out there. This parcel conforms with zoning, and there's no restrictions that would justify the non-issuance of a building permit. And we respectfully submit that that is the correct legal position. It's a legal issue. You know, the town has its own bylaw. These things are governed by legal requirements, and we meet the legal requirements. And so that's the basis of our position.
Nazi, have you seen this? Have you been able to see it on a plot plan?
Yeah, I did. I have to say, I do agree with the counselor. However, when the planning board wrote the decision, when the subdivision was granted, they wrote it, unfortunately, whoever wrote it, a very poor decision. The intention of the cul-de-sac was to stay open space and green and trees. Unfortunately, they didn't specify this. However, they did this. The subdivision clearly states on the MILA that's recorded at the registry clearly states it's a 13 lot subdivision, not a 14. And unfortunately for the neighbors, this becomes a fight they have to pull with the person. As the zoning board, as the counselor says, if it meets front setback and has the footage, whether it's underwater, above water, all wetland, perk, doesn't perk, in the eyes of the zoning, it's buildable. That's the eyes of zoning. Now it has to pass all the other departments. It has to pass Board of Health, conservation, all this. But in the eye of the zoning, it's a buildable lot. The burden is on the neighbors, which is, I'm sure they're not happy about it, to appeal if the building permit go forth, to appeal the building permit in the court, not to us, because we don't wear a black robe. You need a person with a black robe to say to them it's not buildable. It would not be us. This is my opinion of it right now. I mean, you guys, I would like to hear everyone's
If I'm hearing you
opinion.
correct, Naz, you're saying if this board indeed says, yeah, we agree with your position, it's a buildable lot, we overturn the building inspector's decision, then you're throwing it in the hands of the neighborhood. If they want to appeal our decision, they can take it to court. But based on your interpretation, and I have to say I agree with you, this board should grant, or should overturn the commissioner's decision, and then it's up to the neighborhood to go out and challenge it if they so choose.
Correct. The
I'm with you.
neighbors have something in their hand that like I said, it's recorded a 13 lot subdivision. That makes it 14. So if they go to court, this is their
argument.
ammunition.
That's
This
not
is
our
their
argument, but yeah.
And as a zoning board, if you bring us a lot that complies, unfortunately, we can't say no. But I leave it to you guys to discuss and see what you think. And of course, we'd like to hear from the neighbors. I mean, you guys could start at deliberating and let me know what you think.
I thank you for your input. Anything on this side of the table?
So,
Anything over here? Okay, go ahead.
so I do agree with Nazi. The way it was written on the planning board, it does say 13 lots, and that would be number 14. It looks like in the middle, the way it was written. They call the one in the middle a parcel and not a lot. I'd looked at our zoning bylaws to see if lot versus parcel meant lot was a building, and parcel was unbuildable. I couldn't find anything in our zoning bylaws that confirmed that. So I guess I agree with Naz.
Yeah, I think that's where Unless anybody objects, I'd like to open it up to see if there's anybody in here that would like to speak on this matter, either in favor or against. Come forward, sir, state your name and your favor or objection.
Sean Campina from 15 Candlepaper Lane. I'm opposed to the parcel of land being built. I was one of the original owners of the development. When the builder, who was here at the time, the property owner, approached us with this, he sold this as a 13-lot subdivision. I have all the copies of the planning board's requirements that was planned, that was all the relief that was supposed to be given, that was supposed to be done. None of that's been done yet. The road hasn't been accepted and/or finished. Nothing's maintained in there. And now we're supposed to take the word that we're going to landscape it now after 20 years, dated, actually 22 years, dated November 23rd of 2004. He approached everybody if they wanted to buy the house, to build a house. No, we didn't want a house. We had a cul-de-sac there, a wooded cul-de-sac. In the covenants of his declaration, he wants to protect and preserve natural beauty and the scenic views and create a desirable residential community. So I don't think this house would create that, protect and preserve the natural beauty and scenic views and create a desirable residential community. So I'm opposed to that. There's 13 houses that were supposed to be in there. He was supposed to maintain vegetative borders. The planning board, he has not complied with the planning board's plans he submitted, including the 13-lot subdivision.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. Anybody else in favor or against? Well, if you're here from the neighborhood and you have an opinion, you should go on record. At least get your name read in, and I'm in favor or I'm against. Come forward, sir. No, one at a time. There's somebody in front of you.
Yeah, my name's Frederick Slavin. I live at 14 Candlepaper Lane. And I completely opposed to the addition of a house, which would be my front yard. The reason for it is that it was originally designed as open space. It should remain as open space. We paid really good money for this lot, really good money for that neighborhood. I don't want to look at someone's backyard in my front yard. It was never designed that way. What I bought was a beautiful lot that had a beautiful open area in front of me. That's what I want. That's what I bought. And I don't think it should be changed. It was never designed that way. There's no water, there's no electric, there's no gas. It was an open area. And for them to change it now is just ridiculous. I oppose it.
Thank you, sir. Who else would like to speak?
If I may, Mr. Chair, if I may, I totally agree with the neighbor, but I would like if the neighbors have any technical information that could help us to deny this project. I totally understand they don't want neighbors, they want open space, they want green, they don't want backyard, front yard. We need anything in their documents on their, when they bought the house, anything in their covenant, anything that helps the board to take a decision, and then not the board take a decision. The way I see it right now, it's gonna go to court either way, whether the applicant's gonna appeal it, or the neighbor's gonna appeal it. So I recommend that the neighbors get represented by an attorney. I think we should, and we're gonna listen to all of them. I'd like to listen to all the neighbors, but I strongly recommend that they get together and get an attorney. This thing needs an attorney. So that being said, you can continue what you're saying. They could continue.
You were up next, sir.
Christopher Velati, 13 Candlepaper Lane. I oppose this. It's ridiculous putting a house in the middle of a cul-de-sac. It's going to ruin the whole neighborhood. They're going to ruin the road, and like it was said, the town never approved the road in the first place. And we take care of that island. We cut the grass. My neighbor Chuck Heitman, when he moved there, the grass was 3 feet tall. He never took, the owner of it never cleaned it up, and we all chipped in and we cleaned that and keep that place spotless.
Thank you for your input, sir. Who else? Sorry to make you get up, sir. Looks like you...
85 85, and I know you said not to say that.
No, that's okay, you can be
I'm
85,
not gonna sit down if you
but
don't
that's the
mind.
reason for you taking so long to get up. That's a good explanation.
I lived in the Boston area all my life. In 2011, my wife and I moved down here. We bought a house at number 11 Candlepaper Lane. Beautiful. And we were under the impression and that the cul-de-sac, the centerpiece, was an open area to stay that way. The other thing I put in mind, Mr. Cornish has never, ever maintained any of the grass areas, the curb to grass areas. The entranceway, I did that for close to almost 20 years. I did that myself. I paid for mulch out of my pocket. I did it all. So to believe that he's going to put a house in there in any kind of good faith is way out of the question. I thought that the covenant, the papers that Mr. Campanish read off explicitly explain what that was for. It was for an open space.
Okay, thank you for your input,
Thank you
sir.
for your
Thank you
indulgence.
for coming.
Excuse me, your name?
Thank you for coming up.
Did we get his name and address?
Did you say your name into the record, sir?
Yes, I will. It's Charles Heitman, Heitman, and 11 Candlepaper Lane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for...
Anybody else? I'm gonna have to ask everybody to indulge me. I'm gonna need to step out of the room for a minute. Everybody can.
We'll take a recess.
Yeah.
It's gonna probably be more than a minute.
For recess.
Robin Westberg, 8 Candlepaper Lane. I also
Can we
oppose...
just time out and wait till Mr. Akabachi comes
Sure.
back in? That way there, you don't have to repeat yourself when he comes back out.
Okay.
We're divorced. He told us. Yes. No. We bought the land. When we bought the land, he told us you were gonna try to develop it. 22 years later, did you make bad financial decisions? Correct. So you have lawsuits involved. Yep.
There it is. I was looking for this.
We had a southeastern Massachusetts family roundtable.
The thing is, I don't hear anybody saying anything about the planning board putting me in this position.
Yeah, we'll reply once these people speak.
About the new planner in Lakeville.
Even they didn't
Anyway,
include,
they
they
decided
didn't
to
want the town to accept that.
So I drove 45 minutes out to see.
Oh yeah, they wanted this to happen. They wanted you to give it to
And
the
on my way back,
homeowners
we had a
association.
JTPG meeting with Serped. That was at 2 o'clock.
Number 4 is,
So you building, you haven't eaten at all?
Pretty much, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, good, I'll take the JTPG meeting on the road. Do you have Verizon? Verizon's spending like a
Sorry, ma'am, but
Sure.
if I held it any longer, I was gonna start, having my voice was gonna be affected, I think.
Robin Westberg, 8 Candlepaper Lane, and I agree with all of my neighbors. Right now, our neighborhood is a very quiet, nice, peaceful neighborhood. Our neighbors take care of that circle, they mow. We have wildlife that live there. I've seen deer several times there. And according to this restricted covenant, it says that there are lots 1 through 13. If he hasn't completed all of the work that he said he was going to complete in our neighborhood before most of the houses were even built, how can we trust that he was going to do what he says he's going to do with this plan? I am opposed, as most of my neighbors are.
Thank you for
Why
your...
should we incur attorney fees to try to fight this when this is our livelihood? This is our lives, our homes.
Thank you for your input. Anybody else? Come on up, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is John Westberg. I live at 8 Candlepaper Lane. And my wife and I were getting older. We wanted a nice place to live. So we came down, we bought this house because of a nice cul-de-sac and green trees and and all that. And it's a perfect neighborhood. It's almost like a 55 and over, but it just so happens most of the people that live there are 55 and over. So it's kind of like a retirement place for most of us. And stop to think about it. How many cul-de-sacs have you driven down when there's a house in the middle of it? I don't think very many, if any. So what does that tell you? That this is bullshit, pardon my language. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your input, sir. Anybody else like to speak on this matter? Do we have anybody online that would like to be heard on this matter? Mr. El-Khalasi.
All right. Again, I do hear the neighbors. I think they're absolutely right. However, if the board, I just want to tell you the good news and the bad news. If the board deny this thing based on zoning, so tell them we deny you, it's not a buildable lot. This is the easiest case in court. It won't even make it to a judge. It'll be dumped with summary judgment and it'll be granted because it meets all the requirements. I think we should continue this matter. You have a good thing going for you that the town didn't accept the road. So now there's 13 lots of you, so you own 13. You own almost 95% of that road. And like I said, you should get an attorney because the majority owns the road. Maybe you could block or don't allow the building or the access of the road or the utilities. Unfortunately, I still don't believe this is the right place to settle this matter. This is a court question. I don't think it's the right place to do it. But I would suggest let's continue it. I recommend the neighbors to get an attorney, like I said, and ask him what I said, because they're the majority holder of the owners of the road. Maybe they could do something with stopping them. And personally, I will ask a few attorneys, see what they think. Maybe the board member knows people can ask, and we'll come back to it. Other than that, that's all what I could do personally. I don't speak for the board, I speak for myself.
I'd like to have further discussion amongst the board, but before I do that, I'd like to know if there's anybody here that would object on the board or Nazi to us closing the public portion of this hearing so we can continue to discuss it.
Mr. Chairman.
I don't recommend you close the public hearing.
Okay, because you wanna make a motion to continue?
Continue, do not close that public hearing, no.
And you wanna continue on the basis that you're looking for,
I'm hoping that the neighbors come with an attorney with some solid things that we could help them, that's all.
and an attorney may, in fact, uncover some facts that would...
Correct.
I understand. So based on additional input, you'd like to hear additional arguments from the neighbors, and you'd like to give them that opportunity. So that's why you would like to continue.
Plus, I'd like to ask a couple of attorneys about it, see what they
So
think.
you'd like more input on your own. You'd like to have more chance to investigate before you make a decision. I like that.
I
Okay.
agree.
You agree, and you'd like more time to talk to and get counsel. So we have two members of the board that would like to get more information on this. I hope the neighbors have listened very carefully. Mr. El-Khalasi speaks from a lot of experience. I hope you folks sitting in the back of the room listened carefully, and I know that this gets recorded and you can go review it via other means. That said, would somebody like to make a motion to continue?
Mr. Chairman, I apologize to interrupt. I'm sorry. And I know you're very short on time.
So,
But while everyone's in the room, could we just say one or two things about some of the comments that were received, just to kind of set the record straight? But I don't want it, I'm sorry, I'll defer to you.
no, we didn't close the public portion yet, so, we've given everybody a chance, that everybody should have a fair chance to speak, make your comments.
So the only thing I just wanted to, and this is only in response to the comments, so a couple of things, is there are a couple of neighbors who cited this restrictive covenant. There is a restrictive covenant, but it applies to the 200-foot riverfront of the Williantic River. It's not, this parcel is not part of that. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that. And the other thing I wanted to clarify is that the town engineer, January 11, 2019, he went out there, he made a recommendation to the planning board that all of the work was done. The subdivision was completed, Charles Rowley. And so then that started the road approval process. They had recommendation that the subdivision was done. There's no covenants that are left unaddressed. All the other lots have been sold. They were able to be sold because the planning board had released them. And so it went forward. The planning board recommended street acceptance. The town meeting voted to accept the street. So my client, I mean, that's a subdivision approval process. It's not necessarily zoning, so I don't want to mix that up too much. But I just don't want there to be this notion that he didn't finish the subdivision. He finished it in a satisfactory manner. There's a paper trail on that. Town meeting voted to accept the street. What the selectmen decided to do after that, my client has no control over, but there is a clear record that he finished the subdivision. I just wanted to say that.
Excuse me. So is it, if I may,
Go ahead, Nazi.
is it listed the town accepted road right now? If you go on
No.
the town
No.
road list?
No, I can explain why.
Why?
So basically, 2019, that street acceptance procedure starts. The planning board met and to make a recommendation for street acceptance. That's per the state, the legal process. So when the planning board met, they imposed new conditions that weren't in the subdivision approval. They wanted a homeowners association to be formed. Well, once you've sold all of the lots, it's too late for that. It's just not a practical reality. Mr. Konish has no power to force all of the folks who bought lots to form a homeowners association. That's up to them whether they want to form a homeowners association. As was stated, once the lots are sold, the people that bought the lots, they own the road. Mr. Konish doesn't even own the road anymore, so he has limited control over what happens. So I went to town meeting, they voted unanimous, I don't know if it was, they voted to accept the street. I think it was listed as a unanimous vote, it was an easy vote. Then the selectmen wanted compliance with these planning board conditions that had never been part of the subdivision, that Mr. Konish has no power to implement. He can't form a homeowners association, he only owns this one lot. So that's why it wasn't accepted. It wasn't because it was deficient. It wasn't because the town meeting didn't vote. It's because the selectmen decided not to go forward with the final step. That's why.
So if they didn't go with the final step, it's not an accepted road.
But it doesn't matter though. But if you look at the laws of Massachusetts, frontage is not just defined as an accepted road.
Yeah.
It's frontage on a road shown on a approved subdivision plan that's been actually constructed. That's what we have.
No, forget the zoning. I totally agree with you. It meets zoning. I just wanted to know if the town, I totally agree with you, it meets zoning. I wanted to see if the town owns the road 100% or the owners of the lot still own the road. This is what I want to know. Did it go in the town warrant and it get voted?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Did the selectmen approve it?
The answer is no.
Okay, so it's still not owned. It's still owned by the neighbors. It's not completed. This is my view, and I'm not an attorney, and that's why I recommend they get an attorney.
Thank you, Naz. And there's somebody, one of the neighbors, we've allowed counsel for the applicant to speak, and one of the neighbors would like to speak again. I'm going to bring him up at this time. Go ahead, Mr. Campina.
And I think it's the time now to create an association for the neighbors.
Sean Campina, 15 Candlepaper Lane. Some of the stuff was told the road was not accepted. It did go to town meeting, it was denied, but prior to that, Dave Menard from the Highway Department came around the neighborhood. Many of the neighborhoods can come in here and give you sworn affidavits for that, which we will do at some point in time. And he asked Mr. Conish to do several things, to clean the cul-de-sacs up, not the cul-de-sacs, to clean around the cul-de-sacs, to clean out the retention ponds to prevent the flooding from the road when it rains. That was never done or complied with. So since that was done, when it went to town meeting a few years back, about 3 years ago, it wasn't completed, it wasn't signed off or accepted road. So we still maintain it, we still do this, we just take care of the road. So I do agree with Mr. Alcalasi, is that it will have to go to litigation. We just want to make sure we don't want a bad decision by the planning board who granted this 13-lot subdivision. If they left something out, I think there's some other interpretations we can do here to protect the citizens, because as you see, there's many people in here today upset, and we'll bring many more the next time we come. It's just pretty sad that we can't come to some type of consensus. A 13-lot subdivision doesn't turn into a 14-lot subdivision, and a cul-de-sac doesn't turn into open space as a parcel. Because I'm sure the planning board and the building department understood what a lot was versus the parcel of land. I spoke to Mr. Conis personally when I was building my property and buying this property, and he assured us it was green space, Maple Grove, we're going to embrace nature, and the restrictive covenants, he mentions that as well. So that's when I put that in the record. The reason it wasn't done, because Dave Menard from the Highway Department came out there and gave him specific conditions to do that. We still haven't been met to this day. And what I was told is that, Bill told me that he can't, why should I afford to do anything? Because if the town won't accept the road, I'm washing my hands of it, so I might as well make a little money now. That's not fair for the citizens, it's not fair for all the neighbors to have to accept the burden because the road's not accepted, he didn't do what he was supposed to do, and if you made bad decisions, we should have known it. I agree with the other guy back there. It's a lot of BS.
Thank you for your time. At this point, I think the recommendation of Mr. Okalazi that we continue is prudent. I agree with one of the people in the neighborhood who said, why should we be the ones that are forced to hire an attorney? I agree with the sentiment. I disagree with the necessity. It does appear to me that this is going to probably end up in court. And I think listening to Mr. Okalazi and listening to everybody, it kind of needs to go to court. But I also feel as though it's not fair. The neighbors didn't go to law school. They came here in response to a certified mail. They spoke well, they spoke eloquently, and I think they should be granted the opportunity to get professional representation. So that said, I really hope that one of the members of the board will make a motion to continue.
So moved.
It's been motioned by Mr.
February 11th.
Pardon me? To February 11th. It's been motioned by Mr. Semple that we continue to February 11th. Do I have a second?
February 11th is only...
I'm going to be out of the country, starting next week for probably...
I'm sorry, I...
He's out of the country.
You want to alter your motion to February something else, or do you want to stick with...
Jimmy, let's do January 28th for this one.
Pardon me?
Let's do January 28th for this one. We'll fit it in.
Yeah, okay, we're getting kind of heavy on the 28th, but I'm with you, Naz. Okay, so the motion has been made and amended to continue until January 28th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Conti. All in favor? Mr. Alcalasi?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Lassen? Aye. Myself? Aye. Mr. Semple?
Aye.
Mr. Conti?
Aye.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded and voted unanimously to continue till January 28th. Folks, there'll be no notice in the paper, you heard it tonight, nobody's gonna come in. Pardon me?
One thing on the record before we leave, if we could.
Well, you wanna go on the record?
Yes, just want to say, Sean Campina, 15 Candlepaper. I truly appreciate the board tonight, but it's pretty disingenuous when you gave many people so much time to get things done. As you talked about coachable sessions here tonight, we're going to coach you. How does we're here, we have 2 weeks to get this done, to find appropriate legal counsel
You
representatives.
can come back in 2 weeks and ask for a continuance.
Perfect.
You're gonna have representation.
If I may, Mr. Chair, Mr. Campina, if everybody holds on, if I may, We're trying to help you out because you said you are out of the country. We could push it to the second meeting of January, which is February, will be February 25, if you wish.
I'll
We're
still
trying
be-
to help you out.
I'll still be gone then too. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Lopez.
how about
If we can push it up
March
to June,
11?
if you can get, I'm looking for April. The neighborhood's looking for April.
April 26th.
Nazi, it's been motioned and voted on. I think it makes more
reverse that
sense
vote.
for them to come back on that date. Maybe have a lawyer just show up and say, we need a continuance and a time and a reason, and maybe we can continue the time for a decision and everything at that point.
All right. Mr. Campina, let me explain, if I may. Just have a seat. Let me explain to you how this works. April 11 will put us way beyond the limits on a special permit or a decision. Will put us beyond the 90 days. If the applicant will not give us a deadline extension, we can ask the applicant. If he doesn't give us a timeline extension, we will be forced to give a vote to that tonight. We will need an extension from the applicant on the deadline decision. So unfortunately, April 11, that's over 90 days for a special permit or a variance. I think variance is 100 days from the application, special permit 90 days from the first hearing. So if we push it that long and he doesn't give us an extension, we will be forced to give a vote tonight. So we'll do whatever you neighbors want to do. I mean, you gotta pick a date within the 90 days.
Closest to the 90 days, right? What's the closest to the 90 days we can extend it without going over the 90 days for the board's satisfaction to provide
What's the
relief?
deadline, Josh, on that hearing? I don't have the slip in front of me. Or Sonia.
The request isn't a special permit, it's just a appeal of the building commissioner's decision. It looks like the statutory requirement was that they file with the ZBA within 30 days of his decision.
But the special permit is 9 days from the day we stamped it with the clerk.
3 months.
So what's
It's
the
not a special
deadline?
permit, it's just an appeal of the building commissioner's decision.
It has to have a deadline. It has to have a date. It's
I
no
agree.
such thing as open.
I agree with you, I'm just not sure what it is.
It's 90 days.
90 days.
We gotta stick with 90 days. We're not gonna take a chance.
It's 90 days from the clerk. Yeah.
So let's say 90 days from today, what does that bring us to? Do the
Nazi,
math.
don't you think there's some merit in letting the neighbors, 2 weeks gives them a chance to get professional representation and argue this point and get extensions and for time, et cetera, give both sides a fair opportunity to get their act together. There's going to be an argument.
Right, but they saying they're out of the country, they don't have time.
Well,
That's what they,
I understand they're out of the country, but if they're going to have professional representation, they don't need, all 13 of them don't need to be here. All we
okay,
need-
so they need to pick a date within 90 days.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're taking a big chance to lose.
I'll
So it's up
I'll
to them.
rescind the vote if that's what the board wants to do. We have to vote to rescind our vote and re-vote for a new time. We're actually, we voted on something and it's not, it's still on the table, the applicant's still here, so.
If I could, Mr. Chair, I just want to state on behalf of my client, I mean, I don't think this is really fair.
Well,
That's-
that's good, that's your opinion, you're paid to have that opinion.
The ZBA has legal counsel, this town council. They could weigh in. There's been no reason given tonight at all that's a legal reason to deny
But
this.
I've heard adequate arguments for me I want more time to look into this matter. So that's my reason for wanting to continue.
We're not opposed to a
Continue what
continuance.
date? That's, I'm not arguing the date, I'm just, if people want to try to stand here and argue over a date, waste your time, argue over a date, you still need professional representation.
We're not opposed to a continuance, we're just opposed to the idea that the
You just don't
board
think
would
it's
go
fair.
out
Like
of
I
its
said,
way.
you're paid to have that position.
find
And they're
legal
going to
counsel
pay
to
somebody
fight
to
it.
have the opposing
Time
decision.
out, excuse me, time out, please. Let everybody finish. Counselor, finish your statement, please, if you may.
I mean, I just, We're not opposed to the continuance. We hope it's for a reasonable amount of time. We think that this is not a complex legal issue, so if the neighbors do retain legal counsel, hopefully that person would be able to come forward and state their position in a reasonable amount of time.
Okay. Mr. Campina, you heard this. Are you the only one out of the country? So I recommend you get not all the neighbors, right? Your best bet, and before, so it doesn't go out of hand, your best bet, have the neighbors, you guys get together, get an attorney, and you could go on Zoom while the hearing comes in. I would recommend we stick with the 28th, and you guys find an attorney. Because if you don't get an attorney, you're not gonna look good.
We'll do it. We'll find someone.
We'll do it.
To get a continuance.
Mr. El
Okay.
Quasi's out of the country, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to be about 14 hours time frame, so it makes it really difficult even to attend Zoom.
What time is it where you are, Naz?
Later than you.
Well, I'm 5 in the morning now. So in 10 minutes, we need to vote for an
So
extension.
5 in the
It'll be
morning?
Beyond 10 o'clock.
You know, your point is made, but it's,
Can we move, we're getting to 10 o'clock. We're
you
gonna,
know,
Yeah,
this is enough of this.
We want to respect the board's time tonight. I appreciate that, I really do. It will have, the 28th, we'll have to get an attorney prior to that and ask for another continuance.
I think that makes the most sense. I think we
Gotta get some
indulged you
injunctive
with your
relief.
concerns, but I think we've extended it, we voted on it. Everybody come back on the 28th, or have somebody here to represent you on the 28th, and we'll further discuss it at that time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're done with this matter for tonight.
Have a good night.
January
Mr. Chair, let's vote for an additional 20 minutes or until 10:30. It's past 10 o'clock.
10 minutes at 10, we need to take a vote to continue. People have been sitting here for a long time, and there are still three items on the agenda that I hate to have somebody sit here all night and be told to go home.
So we can extend the meeting till 10:30. I make a motion to extend the meeting till 10:30.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded to extend for an extra 30 minutes to 10:30. All in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Naz?
Yes, aye.
Okay, so we're extended till 10:30, and the next person on the chopping block here is Albert and Lorinda Goodrow, 4725. Well, you guys are still awake and you're still here. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM. If you folks that are talking back there would stop talking, I'd appreciate it. Are you guys done with your conversation back there? Can we go on with our meeting? We didn't interrupt you, we let you finish talking, but now we'd like not to be interrupted again. Thank you. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition 4725 for a special permit from the requirements of Article 6, Table 628, and Article 13, Section 1352, and Section 1353, under the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Albert and Lorinda Goodrow of 22 Pinehurst Drive, Wareham, Mass., proposing to build a 10-foot by 16-foot deck with a landing and stairs to grade at the subject property located at 22 Pinehurst Drive, Wareham, Mass. This appears on Assessors Map 46A2, Lot 178, in the R30 zoning district. Who's here to speak on this matter?
Both of us. I'm Stan Tetke, T-E-T-T-K-E. I initiated the drawings for this deck replacement to take place past July of this year. And I have my contractor.
Ron Mullen, a contractor.
Okay. So what is it that you want to do?
We've got an existing deck that has deteriorated over the time, I would say it was built in the 50s, maybe 56, somewhere in that neighborhood. And Albert and Lorinda bought this property last year, and we looked to the fact of replacing the deck. And while we were looking at this deck, it's a small deck. It's 10 by 12. And it sits on a footprint of an existing pad that's beneath the deck that they could use for putting chairs and what have you underneath. And I looked at the deck and said, gee, wouldn't it be nice if we could just extend this another 4 feet along the back side of the property? I'm not asking for the world, we're just asking to make it a 10 by 16 deck. And we came up to the Department of Conservation and what have you, and they looked at it, we discussed it, and we got approval from Conservation to build this deck. Came back, had Ron pull a permit, and now we're here because it's, I say, pre-existing, non-conforming, and that word grandfather is going to come up tonight. I know there's a few grandfathers around, but this one needs to be looked at to the hope that you people will decide that it's okay.
You've got a non-conforming existing use that you're increasing the non-conformity.
Yes, 4 feet, yes.
By 4 feet?
Yes.
Okay. So you want us to say it's okay to make it even more non-conforming?
Yes, and the reason I'm asking of this is because we are sitting over the existing patio, so I'm not extending this deck beyond where something already exists. I'm just giving it a little bit more footage for the owners to be able to sit. So yes, I'm asking for special consideration.
And this property abuts the Wareham River?
Yes, it does.
And so the property line, or the property currently, there's a deck and there's a setback, and you're currently, how many feet from the property line with the deck currently, do you know?
We're currently 1 foot from the property.
You're currently 1 foot from the property line?
Yes.
And so you want to extend it 4 more feet?
Not in reference to the property line, but to the backside of the property, so that we're actually at the point of where I'm discussing where the deck is going to run. It'll be probably about 6 feet from the property line. Property line's in a curve, and I'm going to the backside of the property. It should show that on.
Well, that's why I'm confused. I'm looking at this.
That site plan hopefully has a red indication.
That's the proposed new deck?
Yes.
In red?
Yes.
Or circled in
And
red?
I'm surprised that the existing 12-foot wide deck should show up somewhere.
Well, that's what's got me confusing, because maybe I'm looking at the plan wrong. I'm looking at it quick, but there's an arrow going from the corner of the house to the back of the property. It says 11.0 feet.
Yep.
And that's a proposed, and within that 11.0 feet, there's a proposed 10-foot by 16-foot. So you're not making the deck any closer to the river.
No.
You're making it wider. You're not making it,
It is wider to the degree of the
you're making,
12-foot, we're
the
going to
extra 4
16.
feet is on the side lot,
Yes,
not
yes.
on the back.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I was getting confused. So
I can do that to people.
I can do it myself. I can confuse myself, but I don't need your help to confuse me. But, okay, now I'm kind of getting it. So you want to be 10 foot by 16, and you're currently 10 foot by 12.
That is correct.
And the 4 feet that you're adding must be where I see stairs in this picture here.
Yes.
And so the stairs already go down a little, okay. So you're gonna end up being, the back of the house is only 1 foot, 6 inches from the.
Yes.
From the
sideline.
property line,
Yep.
and you're gonna be in.
Within that.
with it, you're gonna be a little bit, you're gonna be 1.7 instead of 1.6. I see it.
Yes, I apologize.
I see it. Nope, I got you. So you're extending the nonconformity on the sideline, not on the rear setback.
Absolutely.
And I was trying to put it in the rear.
That's okay.
That's all right.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, you helped me, unconfuse me?
Mr. Clerk.
Yep.
The extension of that bottom left corner is considered in the rear setback. So it is an encroachment in the rear setback as well as the side.
Because they're going,
Because
the
they're
4 feet that
extending-
they're going is, I got you.
It's within the rear setback
Okay.
as well. So it is a special permit for
Even though
both.
I thought I was right, I was wrong.
It's a special
Or
permit
even
for
though I
both.
thought I was wrong, I
didn't
was
hear
right
that.
or something.
I didn't hear that. You guys have been
Gotcha.
absolutely incredible
I
tonight.
got you. Are you guys
Incredible.
following along on this, looking, you seeing this, what he wants to do? And this is, and where the hell is this in the world? Pinehurst.
Pinehurst.
We had one from Pinehurst in here
You
already.
did.
And how big is this lot?
This lot is 5,400 square feet.
And the other one was 36
It's a relatively good-sized lot.
for that neighborhood.
Yes, it is. There's plenty of space out front, and I don't want to ruin my night with you people, but we are planning to do something to the front of the property in the future.
I think you might be good on the front as far as setback. I don't know about your sides. but
We'll find out.
From the front, yeah, but
We'll be
right
here
now, all
again.
you want is a deck.
Yes, sir.
And if you get away with the deck, you'll come back and ask for more.
That sounds like a winner, yes.
Okay, okay. Well, that's a good plan, you know, one step at a time, I'm with you. And I'm reading the inspector's letter here, and he says you need a special permit for setback encroachment. Nazi, are you listening to all this?
Yeah, he
Do you
needs,
think it's a special permit, or you think it's a variance?
well, if the board feels it not so detrimental, we could act upon it as a special permit under 1352 or 1353.
And that's
So
what
we
he's
need
got
to vote
highlighted
if
here,
you-
okay. And what are they
So
asking
let's
for?
close and move on. It's getting late.
They're asking for a special permit.
The
Okay,
commissioner said special permit or a variance if the board chooses to.
well, before I decide if I think it's a special permit or not, I'm gonna ask if there's anybody in the room or online that would like to speak on this matter. Online? No, okay. So doesn't appear, Nazi, that there's anybody in the neighborhood saying no. Not because it's getting later, not because anybody's tired, but I'm looking at the map here, and I don't see it being a big deal if the board feels the same way. Anybody?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So,
Thank you.
so you're extending it on the side like 4 feet.
Yes.
Are those stairs going to change, or they're going down in the same direction?
They're going to do basically a winder. Transition down 4 or 5 steps, and then 90 and
Okay.
bring down. But we're not going, this is most important, and the reason I even brought this to this board is we're not going beyond the footprint of the existing patio that is there in now. And unfortunately, I think it kind of got washed out on the plan. You can very well see patio written down on the plan that you have, but
I
it's,
see patio under it.
there's an existing patio underneath, and I thought that I could present this to this board because of the existing patio, that it would possibly be accepted to what we were doing.
You know, weird as this sounds, if I've got it right, you can have a patio, and you don't need anybody to say it's okay. But if you build a deck, you need everybody's okey-dokey.
Apparently, we're finding that out.
Isn't that
Yeah,
the
absolutely
wisdom
true.
of government?
Absolutely true.
You know?
Patios are regulated by Concom.
Yes, they are.
Conservation, yeah.
Troy knows this all too well.
I know that all too
Very,
well.
very quickly, I'll
Okay,
share
so-
that we're building a moving deck.
But to Mr. Conti's question, the green, the deck that you've got here outlined in red, and the stairs that are also green and outlined in red, that's what you intend to do?
Finished product.
Does that help answer you?
I think you have a different, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, thank you. See, so he's showing it here, and he's,
Okay, yeah, I don't have that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
okay. So now everybody seems to be good, and everybody's still awake. And nobody wants to speak. I'd like a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Troy. Moved by Richard, seconded by Troy. All in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazzy?
Aye.
We're closing the public portion of this. Nobody can speak other than board members from this point forward. We'll discuss it amongst ourselves. Any reason anybody has to be in objection to this? Can I have a motion to grant as drawn, as shown on the plan?
I make a motion to approve, approve this of the plans that are submitted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Richard, seconded by Troy. All in favor, Nazzy?
I say aye, and the finding is not so detrimental to the neighborhood.
You say aye on the finding that it's not detrimental to the neighborhood. Okay, at the same time, can we vote on granting him permission to do it?
Yes, aye.
Okay. Keep going.
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris, aye.
Aye. Okay, so we've found it to be non-detrimental to the neighborhood, and we've said okay as a special permit.
Thank you.
When you're in sales, when the people say yes, it's time to stop talking. We said yes. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Two more.
Three? Two more, two more. Man, I thought this was another motion.
So understood. 10:07.
The next one up is going to be Petrucci, I think. That's you? I haven't read you in yet, but we'll get there. And we've still got
You
a
staying
lot
down
of
in
those 30
staying
minutes.
down the harbor master's office in between these things, relaxing?
Right here.
He's on overtime right now.
Did you wait to
On
build
your
these
bill.
all up so you could come in one night? And
It seemed to work that way. It wasn't
it seems to
planned.
work that way, yeah.
Some
Okay.
speed reading going on.
Say it again?
I said, I hope we got some speed reading going on.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I know you got your hands full.
47, 48. Everybody's doing their reading while I'm reading this. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026, 6:30 PM, room 520, Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 48-25 for a special permit and a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 621 and 628, and Article 13, Sections 1355 and 1356, 1357, and 1358, under the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Anthony and Kara Petrucci, care of Brian Grady of GAF Engineering, Inc., of 266 Main Street, Wareham, Mass., proposing to raise an existing dwelling and construct a new dwelling located at 30 Barnes Street, Wareham, Mass. This would appear on Assessors Map 50A, Lot 23B, in the R30 zoning district. Go ahead, Mr. Grady.
Thank you, Brian Grady, GAF Engineering, here,
Anthony Petrucci?
property owner. So I'll try and summarize this as quickly as I can. We're here for a special permit and some variances needed to demolish the existing structure and reconstruct a new building. The special permit section, as outlined in the commissioner's letters, has to do with setback encroachments. The existing building has a front setback of 9.7. The proposed building will have a front setback of 10.9. We're actually increasing there. The existing structure setback 10.2 to the left sideline, 11.9 on the right sideline. Those setbacks will be 10 feet on the left sideline and 7.9 on the right sideline. But I will point out the deck on the right sideline is 0.9 feet to the setback. We have a proposed deck on the new structure that will be approximately 8 feet, so that's increasing significantly. So special permit portion is the sideline setbacks. The variance portion of the request is for building coverage and floor area. I think I've been here before.
I think, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. I think that the building commissioner's letter says special permit to demolish and variance for the new nonconformity of the FAR. That's it, that's all he's looking for. Unless I misread something.
Let's see.
Take a minute before you make yourself...
Special permit, second paragraph, a special permit will be needed for front, south side, and rear setback encroachment. The existing floor area will require a variance, and the existing building coverage will require a special permit. So it's the floor area ratio is a variance, and the setbacks and the building coverage will be a special permit. That's outlined in the second paragraph of the commissioner's letter.
Are you reading where Paul signed it on the second page? Just above his signature, starting with therefore, in order to proceed.
Well, yeah, I'm reading the second paragraph, and it seems to be written a little bit differently.
Yeah, I
in the
know,
last
so
sentence,
I'm with you, but, you know.
Let's grant as many as we can, just to cover all the bases, I guess.
The second paragraph in his opening dialogue, is that what you're reading?
First page, the second paragraph, he's talking about special permit for setbacks, special permit for the building coverage.
Yeah, he says it's going to need to require a special permit for the front, south side, and rear setback encroachment. Yeah, I get you.
Variance for the floor area ratio.
So let's get them all, is what you're saying. Let's not go find out, oh, shit, I wrote the letter wrong.
Right. So part of the issue here is the Petrucci's own pretty much the smallest lot in the neighborhood. It's 2,500 square feet. So they're looking to build a reasonably sized home, 1,587 square feet. So the reason the floor area ratio and the building coverage seem so high is because the lot area is so small. Other issues are this property is in the velocity zone. The new building code, we have to add 3 feet of freeboard for velocity zone structures to the lowest horizontal member. So it puts the finished floor of the proposed building approximately 16 feet above existing grade. So that requires a lot of stairs to get to it. So we're going to have some stairs to a landing, more stairs to an upper deck.
So it's going to be stilt built?
Yeah, it'll be on concrete piers, again, approximately 16 feet, the finished floor above grade. So that'll allow parking underneath. They are proposing an elevator. This is going to be their retirement home, so an elevator may become useful in the future as opposed to climbing that many stairs. We do have, Mr. Petrucci went around the neighborhood with a petition. We do have it signed by 10 of the immediate butters in support of this project. One of them who was unable to get a signature is a direct abutter. To the left of this, Mr. Hurd, I did have a conversation with him. He's in agreement with the project as well, so that would make 11 people in the immediate area in support of the project. That's a quick Cliff Notes. I know it's late, so if I can add anything to that, or if you have any questions.
It's not your fault that it's late. It's to your credit that you sat through this thing, so you guys deserve the time that you do. But I appreciate you being considerate of our time. Any questions from board members? I don't see Nazi saying anything. It's a really small lot, but there's something on it, and they want to tear it down and put something that's a lot nicer in its place. I'm looking where it is on the locus here. this is at the end of Barnes Street, and this is Swift's Beach, right?
Yeah, if you go to Wonkinko, driving, what direction?
Is this,
Next to the one that we just did, that big.
is this the
hullabaloo
one right
down at
beside the
end.
right-of-way that goes down to the beach? There's already a stilt-built house there, or?
There's several in the neighborhood on piers, yeah.
Is this the one that was the foundation that, yeah, okay.
There's three basically new ones
There's a
across the
marsh in
street.
front of it, and everybody puts their tender, their boat tender right in front of where
Well,
you,
this isn't waterfront, no.
this is not waterfront.
No, so if you go down Swift's Beach, take a right on one.
Other end of Barn Street,
The other end, okay, that's why
closer to Swift's Beach.
the locus here, I thought there was an arrow pointing down to the beach side, so that's why I was so this is the other end of Barnes Street, down by the marsh.
Correct.
Okay, so if I go down by the gas station off Route 6 and just go straight all the way to the end and take a right, and then go over and take another right
Right.
onto Barnes Street, I'm
Barn
gonna go
Street,
down to the
Murphy
end.
Street goes off at an angle.
Nope. Go all the way down Swift, take a right onto Wincoco, take a right onto Barnes. It's immediately on your right.
Second house, isn't it?
Okay, second house in.
On the right, yep.
Okay. I know where it is. I like to know those things, you know. So there's a cottage on it. Any comments?
Nope.
Chris?
No.
Naz?
No.
No.
Okay. Anybody from the neighborhood here, or anybody here that wants to speak on this matter? In favor. You have to come up and say your name and who you are. You can't just yell it across the room, sorry. You gotta get it into a microphone and who you are and your position.
Brian Watmo, 11 Murphy Street.
And you're in favor of this?
In favor,
project?
yes.
Okay.
Just because, I'm a proponent of home improvement.
Is that your wife or your girlfriend back there?
She's my special lady.
Special lady?
Yeah,
Can you make a special lady voice and say her name into the record?
30-something years now. I think it's 33.
30-something years?
Yeah, 33.
Give it another 8 or 10 years, and then if she's still around, marry her. But don't rush into it.
So anyway, I'm a proponent of progress and home improvement. I don't see where this project is going to impede anything. There's already that theme in the neighborhood anyway. There's a multitude of houses on pilings.
Okay.
Going to take that property and bring it up to code, and I think FEMA would probably appreciate it. So that's my position.
Thank you. Thank you for your input. So, Brian, what we need to accomplish is we need to make sure that if the board's inclined to, you've either worn us down and we're so tired, we just want to get you out of here with a yes, or, but whatever, let's make sure we get you what you need. I'm reading the paragraph you were reading, and I'm reading the final comments. So you want a special permit for the front, south, and side and rear setback encroachments. Is that what you're telling me?
Going by the commissioner's letter, that's.
I get it, so, and do we need to determine that it's not detrimental for the neighborhood, or is it just,
For the special permits,
it's just a special because of what you're asking for?
special permit for the setbacks, and he's also talking about a special permit for the building coverage.
Front,
And
side, and what else does he have here? Let me see, and rear. Special setback. Okay, and then he wants a special permit to rip that down, that's another one. That's what, raise, A-Z-E. And then you want a variance for the FAR. And what's the FAR gonna be?
Proposed is 63.4%.
63.4%. And
just
what's
wanted to be
allowed,
put-
what's allowed?
25.
25, so it's a big variance.
I just want to point
Right,
out the fact,
30%.
I just want to point out the fact that it's such a small lot, and they're trying to put some kind of decent house on. I'm not a decent house, just an
Okay.
That's correct.
affordable house, so
So your input is that the
I
65...
want to cover it because this is a high FAR, so there's a whole different reason for this being a high.
Your position is it's not an unreasonable request.
That's what I'm saying.
Any other comments? Okay, then, let's close the public portion of this hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing. This
Do I have a
portion of the
second?
public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Richard, seconded by Troy. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris, aye.
Naz?
Aye.
We're closing it, okay. So we've closed the public portion. Are we willing to give them a special permit for the setbacks?
Aye.
Motion to, you want to try to put all three in one motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion
Okay.
to grant all three
So-
special permits.
So we need we got to have a variance for the FAR, so let's do two of them under special. We're going to grant special permit to raise the house. Okay, we're all in favor of letting him tear the house down, and in the process, we're also granting him a special permit for front, rear, and side setbacks. Is that a motion?
In the building coverage.
In the building coverage.
And the
Pardon
building
me?
coverage.
In the building coverage also is a special.
Well, that's going to be that's going to be a variance.
That's the floor area ratio is a variance.
FAR, okay.
So building.
Oh, you
cover-
want building coverage in there?
Well, that's in the
Lot
letter as
coverage.
a special permit, so I just want to
Lot
cover that.
coverage. So we're doing three special permits. Lot coverage, raise the house, front, rear, and side setbacks, all under one vote. Who's going to make that motion?
So moved.
So moved. Was that Nazi?
Yes.
Seconded by
Second.
Richard. All in favor? Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Naz?
Aye.
Okay, so you got your special permits. You got permission to tear it down. You got permission to rebuild with front, rear, and side setbacks. You got permission for the lot coverage. Now all you need is a variance for the floor area ratio. And how much floor area FAR do you need? You want 63.4%. Can you give it to me in square feet?
Just over 1,500.
1587, I believe it is.
Let's call it up to 1,600. That good language for you?
Sure.
So we want a variance, I need a motion for a variance for up to 1,600 square feet of building floor area ratio.
So moved.
So moved by Richard, seconded by
Second.
Troy. All in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Nazi?
Aye.
It was worth sitting here all night.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Get some
Thank
sleep.
you.
Grazie, get some sleep.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
We got one more.
Last.
Hopefully, we said it clear enough into the record, because I didn't write it on my notes. Did you got it on your notes? Okay. I think you're the last one.
I think so.
And you know, we have a policy that we say no to at least one every week.
Well, you already said no to somebody.
Did we? No, we continued them, so you're screwed, man. Let's see what you got. I gotta read you in. Sorry.
Okay.
The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on January 14th, 2026 at 6:30 PM in room 520 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition 4925 for a special permit and/or a variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 625, under the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Dennis A. Flynn of 12 Blissful Lane, East Wareham, Mass., proposing to construct a 192-square-foot garden shed at the subject property located at 12 Blissful Lane, East Wareham, Mass.
Excuse me.
Assessors map 119, lot 87/88 in the R130 zoning district.
The shed's actually going to be on 10 Blissful, not on 12.
It's gonna, the
12
shed's,
Blissful is where my house is,
yeah,
and 10 Blissful will be where the shed is.
you own them both.
Yeah, I own them both, yeah.
So I think that 12 Blissful is gonna prevail for
Okay,
both
sure.
lots.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think, but,
I don't know.
yeah, I get it. I know they
I
had
don't know
a,
anything about this stuff, to tell you the truth.
yeah. 12 is your mailing address. If I wanted to get
Yes.
something to your shed, I'd mail it to 12.
Right, absolutely, okay.
Because the only way it's gonna get to your
Yeah.
shed is via you. And they're combined, they're one lot now,
Okay,
okay? So you wanna build a shed.
I do.
It's under 200 square feet. If our bylaws didn't have a special permission, a provision, you'd have been able to build it because it's under 200, but we have in our bylaws that you gotta come in here and get an okey-dokey. What do you need an okey-dokey for? Is it setback? Is it, what is it?
Apparently, it's forward of the main property.
Oh, it's in front of the...
No, not in front of it, forward. It's not, being an
It's
ex.
closer to the
volunteer
street than your
fireman.
house.
What's that?
It's closer to the street than your house.
Right, but
Okay.
not blocking the house in any way.
Okay, it's not, no, I get it, but, and there's no other place on the lot to put it?
Well, there's the pond behind me, so I'm trying to stay away from the pond, and if you look at the field card number 12, you can really see how the hill drops off.
I'm looking at this is helping me a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can see how the hill drops off to the pond. I'm about 30 feet, Blissful Lane's about 30 feet above Glen Charlie Pond. So the house is built into the hill. So I want to try to stay forward of where the hill drops
You're
off.
64 feet from the pond, but it's from the shed to the pond, it's down gradient, is that what you?
Well, yeah, the gradient starts pretty much right where the front of the house is where the gradient drops off.
Any questions from the board?
No.
No. Anybody online or in the room that would like to speak on this matter?
I got a supporter behind me. He's my next door
Supporter,
neighbor.
come right up, sir. I could use some support. My social security isn't as much as I thought it was gonna be.
My name is Wayne Belmere, and I own 8 Blissful Lane, which abuts Dennis's. And it's not detrimental. He's got some trees in front of it that he planted, so when they grow full, you won't even see the garden shed that he's putting up. And I have no problem with it, and it's on my property line.
Okay. And I think we can do this as a special permit, I believe, but I don't see, the commissioner's letter. It's because I'm probably just not.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Seconded. We have a motion to close the public portion of this hearing. All in favor, Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Richard?
Aye.
Chris, aye.
Nazzy?
Aye.
Okay, so we're closed the public portion. Anybody have any comments amongst the board?
Nope.
Any problems with this?
Nope.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept.
We're going to grant a special permit
Grant a special permit, yep,
for the,
for the garden shed.
for the front setback to be slightly ahead of the house. All in favor, say aye. Troy?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Chris?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Nazzy?
Aye.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
Go build your shed.
All right. Been very entertaining.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate your help, all of you.
Okay, I make a motion to close the public hearing,
Second.
Adjourn the meeting.
adjourn the meeting.
Second to adjourn, I'm second.
And we did it by 10:30. I need a motion to close.
Already
So
done.
moved, I did.
Huh?
Already done.
Second, aye.
No.
See ya.
Seconded.
I moved,
You
Troy
moved.
second.
He seconded it.
Seconded
All in
too.
favor? Aye, 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 aye. Nazzy, aye.
Aye.
Close. Okay, we're
Good night.
closed.